All right, I did it. I unmuted as well. Hello, everyone. Hi, my name is Nick, aka Goknak. I'm back. Sorry about being a little missing from the past couple of Q&As. But yeah,
Yeah.
hello, welcome everybody to this month's Q&A. We got quite a bit of news to talk about. In fact, you may notice that we're kind of in an old format, but that's because I want to do some talking, and this is the best way to do it. I'm going to go ahead and, I'll go through what I want to talk about in a sec here, but I am joined by some of the lovely members on the team. You guys can go ahead and introduce yourselves, and we'll get going.
Like from top to bottom?
Oh, yeah. The first.
Okay, so hi everybody, I am Godinoki. I am the website developer and all of that stuff. I also I do a bit of panorama, but not really. I tried it.
Don't we all?
So yeah, mainly website stuff. We have a lot of about website, so it's really great to be here. Yeah.
Right, so I guess I'm next. Hi, I'm Lumia. I mostly work on defrag stuff.
That was an epic intro.
Thanks.
Oh,
It's
shit,
all
I
it's
was going to
needed.
introduce Mac. Mac said he wanted me to introduce him with like a big introduction, and he said this. I didn't have time to download like trumpet noises that I was going to play and like do a big like intro. So yeah, this is Mac. I don't really know what he does these days.
Lately, I've just been working on more BSP convert stuff. There's bits and bobs that still need fixing up. I've just ported a bunch of maps recently and found a ton of issues that still need fixing. So, been working on those.
Oh, with me now.
Yeah.
Hit me.
Last but not
Hey, I'm
least.
Tom, web systems lead, all that. I've been doing a lot of Lumper lately, which is our BSP editor thing. It's mostly done. We're going to have an official release out soon. It's already been sort of released over Discord because the bundle's really small, so we can just bung it in a Discord download, which I'm very proud of.
Yes.
So yeah, I've been doing tooling dev, website dev, DevOps garbage lately. I just realized I've got dogathon noises still in my game. Oh, we can show that off. I'll give you a copy of the dog map.
Oh yes, showing off what
so you can
Lumper
have a
can
go
do.
of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yes, that's me. Lately, me and Nick have been doing all of our DevOps stuff together. We'll talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah, we will be playing Conk. Don't worry. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'm glad to be back. We got some really important stuff to talk about. So we're actually going. I hijacked the first question here because it's really big, and I just really want to get it out of the way first so that we can get into the ask questions later. And I'm gonna also go ahead and hide the webcams so that you guys can see it. So just for now, there's some beautiful graphs or not graphs, but like pictures and stuff I gotta show off. Cool. Okay. So one of the biggest questions, or one of the biggest things recently has been, right, where's O10.0? How are we doing? What's up with drops? Why don't I have access? And so on. So I wanted to take some time today to talk about this, specifically breaking that up into two parts. I actually first want to start with O10. So I think, Tom, you've done this before too, but this is our roadmap.
Yeah, we did
For those that
Yeah.
aren't familiar, we do have actually a roadmap. It's in our FAQ channel, and it's also under a Discord bot command as well, if you want to summon it on command. But we had roughly 4 versions planned out before 1.0. Like public release, this is, opening the floodgates or whatever, and everybody's in. And so, right, we're still on O10.0 currently, but I wanted to give a little bit of an update with rough progress percentages here, just so that people can understand, other than just looking at this and being like, okay, like what? What does that mean? So I went ahead and added some data here that's, I think, pretty representative of what's left. So the for O10.0 specifically, the zoning refactor is kind of an encompassing one. There's actually timer. Timer is zones are for the timer, right? So it's kind of inherent there. But we have, new timer and zoning behaviors, right, that we have to accommodate for. 0.10.0 is probably the biggest updates since, for a while until like 1.0, because of just how much we needed to review and just refactor, like accommodating all of the modes that we want to support. A lot of people can consider this feature, feature creep or like scope creep, right? And that's fair, and it is in a way, but it was necessary to do now, because after 1.0, after we actually published it to everybody, it would be catastrophic. We would basically need to be wiping, because the replay format's going to change. All the times aren't going to make sense if we have to change how zones are going to behave and like how the timer starts and so on. So doing all of this now was necessary, and it's convenient because we also have a lot of modes that we're going to support now. We have the idea of like what we want to support. We have all of the modes planned out and accommodated for in this refactor. That's why it's such a big like refactor and big part of this. It is 90% complete because we're actually finishing up the timer UI and integration there. A lot of the underlying systems are done and in place. It's just a lot of hooking up with the new zones. 0.10.0 is like a lot of it was like speccing and like planning the work, and then there was like a little bit of time to implement it because we knew exactly what we needed to do. And now like the last 10%, I'd say, is like this hooking up to the UI, hooking up to the website, like all of this integration with the rest of our systems so that we actually have, a functional like product, right? So that's the last little bit. This did require rewriting the website, so we're done with that. It's in a maintainable design, a very approachable language. C# is pretty approachable, but JavaScript's just
C#'s fine. It's just the implementation was dog shit.
Yes, yeah. So we couldn't do that, and then the website we had before was done in 3 months as part of my senior capstone project. So it was not maintainable at all. It was all over the place, rushed, and it worked, but it was not going to allow us to easily expand upon it. So we rewrote the web API. Tom has been streaming a ton of this. If you ever caught their streams, this is amazing now. It's done. Obviously the website's not done, but like the rewrite's done. We're in a really good spot with it. It's 100% there. Map submission likewise is almost there. Like 1% left for like the last tweaks.
No, there's a bit more than 1%.
Okay.
And we've got to hook it up in game, but it's
like 5% then,
85,
or something.
85.
Okay.
85%.
That's fair. Yeah, it's still green, but yeah. The point is that we have a lot of work again with like, now that we're implementing it, making sure that the map submission, it works, and there's a lot of bugs being found right now in our staging deploy and everything. So like it's pretty much there, but there's still some work to be done. Lumper is also work that Tom's been streaming. You may have seen it. Walter, my cat, is very excited for this update. And so Lumper is very important for us to be able to add thousands of maps, right? We want to support as many maps as humanly possible, while not all of them will be ranked, and that is a question I think asked later. We still want to have as many maps as we can support. So Lumber is our tool for being able to add them and remove entities that we don't use, patch maps to use our entities instead. We don't want to do things at runtime every time you load the map. We want to make a finalized BSP that you download and it's good, right? It just works. And then likewise, BSP convert is actually another tool to convert from gold source and Quake over to, I think it's just Quake, over to our BSP format, because while we are based on Intech, right, we're not the exact same BSP version. So we need to be able to bring it over to sources, format for maps, and be able to load it.
We do have a very early gold source to source.
That's right. Game Chaos tool
is a lot further along, but there is some work going into gold source.
Yeah, awesome.
So hopefully those maps will be able to be brought across as well.
Yeah, the goal is to bring pretty much as many maps as we could realistically support into Momentum. And it's thousands and thousands of existing maps that it's great if we could support as many as we can. And these tools help that, right? Lumber is necessary for actually adding the maps to Momentum, and then BSP Convert and Gold Source to Source are going to be useful for getting these maps from these older engines converted over and usable in Momentum.
Yeah. Lumpa's not essential for everything. Like some maps shouldn't need touching with Lumpa, but it's also for moderation. And so BSPs are just kind of black boxes. Or there are other tools for looking at them by all means, but because some of them don't support our BSP version stuff, it's annoying. BSPs like there's not that much. It's looking at stuff that's in BSPs is pretty annoying. So Lumpa helps with that, helps with moderation. Otherwise, if someone uploads a BSP, we can't really look at it. And there's a lot of like pornography in old maps that we want to get rid of. So like, it's genuinely like a use for Lumpa. It's deleting like porn rooms and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's also just very
and
efficient.
entity
in doing that.
names
Like,
and
it's
stuff. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
There's some some bad members, but yeah.
Well, those I don't think.
So
If we see them, we'll yell at you. But
right.
for ports, I don't know.
So this is the majority of O10O's work, right? Or what we had planned for it. But one of the things that you may notice here is this roadmap was done before we had really started implementing a lot of these. This was probably when all of these, green numbers were probably around like 40 to 50%. So what you can see in O11 is bonus and stage runs, and this is pretty much included with the zoning refactor. Like that's just part of it now. The timer now supports bonus and stage runs inherently because that's just what we wanted to support, and doing a spec and then implementation via that, right? Like we just now have that. What we maybe could do is like wait until O11 to have bonus and stage run leaderboards, but realistically, because it's already there. Yeah, because it's already there and done, like it doesn't make sense. So we'll get to what maybe a new roadmap might look like in a bit here, but just kind of pointing out the rest of these, right? So the replay refactor, being able to support things like weapons, right? Entities, being able to, play on a map that maybe has a rotating brush or something like that and have it perfectly play back. This kind of stuff is part of this replay refactor. And while the zoning refactor is a lot of the timer and related systems, the replay refactor has already been started before, and we've gotten to around 60%. It's not going to be fully done for O10, but a lot of the preliminary work necessary.
The main pack is mostly there, where the format really changes a great deal from being something very basic, what we currently have, and we need something that it's sufficient for anti-cheat and can work well for ghosts, which are like runs like kind of Trackmania style. You just see them as you play, like you can then spectating them well and seeing like view models and weapons and stuff behaving correctly. There are other ways we could have done that, but the way we've got it in this thing is replays really change very significantly. So it's with AC in mind, but yeah. But like it's kind of a bigger refactor than we initially intended, right? For like when we were planning the refactor like 4 years ago or whatever. Like I don't think we think as much about anti-cheat then. And so a lot of Rio's work is kind of like the replay refactor is taking quite a while and it's a lot of work, but also that's partly because because 1.0 is going to need, we're getting all the stuff we need for the reflector like in now pretty much, or nothing that's going to like hinder us in the future where we need to rewrite stuff again for AC, right?
Yeah, it's good to marry the because anti-cheat is going to tie in with our new replay format. It is good to marry those two with with progress, right? Development progress. Yeah. But a lot of replay refactoring is just accommodating the new modes, right? We need to be able to support weapons and the new map logic with. You are a single player client now, right? So being able to support entities that can reset and so on.
Kind of, but for replays to support any weapons kind of takes some of this initial work. Then there's some specific stuff like storing, networking, serializing, all those specific ones. But like, the kind of the general thing of just getting weapons working, a tool is kind of the big thing. So right. We would have always had to have done this. Yeah.
And so, and with that, right, already being underway, we can move over to O12 where we have a rank point system, we have an XP system, but they're probably not final. We want to revisit them, maybe make XP scaling make sense. For those that are unaware, you're going to have 2 levels in moment, or like kind of 2 progress trackers.
You have rank and level, the game mode rank and then XP level.
Yes, yeah, and so there's like XP is just playing the game, doing things in the game, and ranked is just how good you are in modes and on maps, right? It's the time that you get on leaderboards that are ranked. And then in learn mode, which because we're a platform that's free to play, we want to be able to educate people on how to play these modes, how to do mechanics that you would have to perform inside a lot of these maps. So learn mode is aiming to be this kind of one-stop shop to practice and learn a lot of things. And then O13, we want to have some semblance of like a public server. Roaming public lobbies is kind of our answer to that, where if you don't opt out of it, you can play on a map and then it just automatically finds public lobbies that are specifically built for like being only on that map. So you would join a map and then you could join other players, kind of like a journey or like, you know, style where you have it's ephemeral. It's only on that map. If you leave that map, if you were to join a private lobby, right, or like a hosted lobby, then you exit that lobby and you know can still do that too. And then obviously anti-cheat is the biggest one. So a lot of things ongoing as well. Localization, I put a green smiley because it's going well. We're gonna have way more strings to translate after 0.10.0, but it's going well. People are finding their language and helping out. Thank you so much. Keep in mind if you help out with localization, make sure you link your account in our Discord. We have a forum channel for that. You can get a key for your efforts there. Bug fixes, I was trying to make it kind of like a meh face because there's always bugs, but it's going well. We're fixing bugs, so green smiley. Tricksurf, we already have the initial system in place, but there's no plans around actually adding it or like fully hooking it up until after like 1.0. Parkour, same thing. We have the movement, but we don't really have ideas around how it's going to work. Climb, however, we did talk about this a couple Q&As ago. We brought on Game Chaos to exclusively work on Climb. They are brought on to work on the modes, and this is not taking away effort from these core systems for 0.10, 0.11, right? Like this is a developer being added to the team to add this mode that we can hopefully ship with either 0.10, 0.11, right before 1.0, because we understand that Climb is kind of neutered now, given the current CSGO situation.
Can I just clarify with Climb a bit? Like,
Yeah,
it is a
go
bit
for it.
unclear right now with Climb, but Climb's more than 40%. We have 1.6 KZ is mostly in, I think. We have the basics of SKZ that I think Game Chaos is planning on tweaking a little bit for changing some of the B-hop mechanics, or to kind of make it a bit less strafe heavy between B-hops. And then KZT, I don't think he's done any work on. I could be wrong. So we're not that far off. We're more than 40% there with Climb. Like we have, the moves are all kind of stubbed, and one of them's basically done, and the other's like I think about halfway. So
yeah.
We might not have all three Climb modes in 0.10, but we'll be very close by that point.
Yeah, the goal is to get at least one mode that we can get with 0.10, just so that Climb establishes itself, and then it is KZ. For those that are familiar with creeds or KZ, that's what we're calling it.
Well, no, I think just to clarify, I think what we were talking about yesterday was Game Chaos. I could be wrong. But we're going to try get 1.6, which is mostly there, and then MomKZ/SKZ.
Gotcha.
By 0.10. So hopefully we'll have two.
Yeah, okay.
So
I wasn't aware of that when I made this. That actually bumps it considerably, yeah. So 40% is not even accurate. Sorry about that. Yeah.
The other one, sorry, just to add, is the whole system of pro mode where you can like reset or whatever, or like is it pro mode? Whatever. Where some runs you can like be reset. You have like kind of like save locks, whatever. And so you do like a pro mode run if you never use the TP system, the save lock system, whatever. That we have some of it for, but it's a style in the same way that like half sideways is a style with our system. And that's one of the things that we don't have in 0.10. It's one of the few bits of like run kind of related stuff. Like we have bonuses and stages, but we don't have styles yet. And we kind of know how we're going to slot styles in, but it was something that we could quite cleanly skip for now, so we could do a bit later after 0.10. Yeah. And we should be able to get the pro mode stuff in with style. So that would be kind of probably the last bit of Climb.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry about that. 40% isn't really, I just was thinking about more terms of like we have the movement, but I think there was still some hold up on work there. So it is further along. But with this in mind, right, the main thing that, in fact, this is actually our first question that doesn't need read, but I just wanted to include it here. Blank asked lots of things have changed since the last roadmap, obviously. What would be the current roadmap? And so this is a rough version of that. 0.13's gone. And I think that was asked in chat. 0.13 was the last version, and then the next one would be 1.0. So in this case, 0.12 would be the last kind of like feature release. We'd be doing 0.12.1, 0.12.2 if needed, and then as we're polishing and getting ready for 1.0, that will be the next major version. This is the kind of post 0.10 roadmap roughly, right? So we have all the things that were previously there, but also we have some of the replay refactor work, and then the initial climb implementation as well. For 0.11, we're likely going to finish that replay refactor if there's any kind of major things that come up that are needed. And then we might switch, get roaming public lobbies just in place here, start work on the learn mode, which we already have, like, technically, so it's just more learn mode progress here. Finalize the XP and rank point systems, and then hopefully also get climb fully finalized, maybe even get, like, we could probably try to get styles in. It just depends on development time. The main thing, 012, right, anti-cheat, finalize learn mode, enough to a 1.0 standard, right? Anyone can play it and learn it. UI UX polish, we might do a pass over, get everything consistently styled, and then any remaining polish as well for the game. If there's any remaining bugs, any crashes or anything that would just be jarring for somebody to come into and see, just kind of get it to the point where it's a presentable game that if anyone's going to play it, they're going to have a good time. And yeah, just reiterating here that the development of momentum, I know this isn't to shield us or anything, but it's to remind everybody that this is all done in everyone's free time. This is not our job. Donations are not paying us to work on the game. I wish it could. I wish we could get to a point where it could be our job, because the game would be like done. It would have been done like years ago. But this is just a passion project done out of passion, right, from all of us. I understand that a lot of people may be upset with this progress or see this as feature creep or scope creep or whatever, and it's fully understandable. But just keep in mind that we are just doing this for fun in our free time. We don't really have any obligations other than I want to play this game. That is why I'm working on it. Like, I really want to play this game. Nothing like this exists. It'll be really fun to get this out in the hands of everyone, but I just want to play it, right? Like, so that's like my main motivation. Other people may feel the same. They get to work on, source vowels. They get to, like in the case of like Rio's coming from like server management and plugins. They get to actually do that in the engine now properly, right? Proper movement fixes and things like that. So it is understandable that a lot of people are impatient with the wait, but I want to return back to that. This roadmap, by the way, the asterisk, right, and this will be finalized after 0.10. We'll publish like a proper looking one, right, like this. We'll get that published. That's weird. Anyway, so what's up with? Let's go back to the question here. What is going on? What? Okay. Okay, my slides are fucked up. Anyway,
I just have one thing to the stuff of us being all volunteers and stuff.
Yes,
anyone can work on this. Like, loads of this stuff. A lot of the work I do here, I do because I want to get momentum out, and I had to learn like a lot of JavaScript to do it and stuff like that because it was useful and we needed people to work on it. So I learned a lot of it. Mm-hmm. Anyone can do that. It takes loads of time out of you, and it's a massive commitment. But we do that because we want to get the game out the most.
Yes.
So we do it. And if you really want to get the game out, you can also contribute. And if you're not contributing, I think there's only so much you should feel comfortable complaining without thinking I'm being a bit of a prat. Because
because it's not the most motivating thing to see people calling us things like vaporware or like comparing us to Star Citizen that has raised hundreds of millions of dollars, like things like that, where it's just like doing this together in a cave with a box of scraps.
People are always gonna like say get angry if they don't have access to the thing they want, and they're gonna complain
for sure.
I think it's more like it's kind of demotivating, but it's also just like like who cares about doing this stuff if it's just like angry people who don't ever do anything to contribute. But I don't know, like we are listening to people's concerns there, and I think some of the reasons people have been getting so angry is that they are just impatient, and it's fair. If you've been waiting for the playtest for like, what is it, like 2 years now for some people, we do accept that that's boring, or not boring, but frustrating, and it does feel a bit arbitrary the way playtest has been like, closed off for a while, and so. I don't know. I'm trying to lead into the next bit, Nick. I don't know if that's where you were going next, but
I just wanted to say real quick.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say real quick that for me personally, like the only people who I feel like like the people who motivate me to continue working on the game are like other people who have contributed. Because like I feel like other people who have put effort into the game, like those are the people that I like feel like I owe some time to, you know, like fellow contributors and developers and stuff. And it's a really good thing that I don't run this project, because otherwise I would have like preemptively banned everybody who's ever complained on the Steam forums, like from the game itself.
Yeah, the
like,
problem is like
get it and they're getting game, and then it's just not going to work. Luckily, I don't run things around here, so that's not going to happen.
Not yet, at least. No, I'm just kidding.
I've never done anything in my life for the sake of a Redditor. Like the people on, if you're angry on Reddit, we're not making this for you. Sorry, you can complain or whatever. And someone said my stream was bad. Whenever I stream, it said I was too rude about keys. They said I had like a 2-viewer stream and would like be rude if they asked about keys. I think I'm normally quite patient with that stuff, but yeah, go do your own thing until the game comes out. We don't want to hear from. Anyway,
but yeah, I mean, with that being said, I do want to jump back to the question here and talk about the second part here, because some of the frequently asked questions that we get with regards to this is, you know, I mean the bottom one, but we'll get there. The top two, right? Where are all the maps? We don't actually have maps in the game currently, like, or a lot of them, right? Because we have these giant refactors, right? 0.10 is a giant overhaul of how we're doing zones, how we're doing, you know, like all of the systems related to map submission and things like that. So just adding a shit ton of maps right now makes no sense to do, because we're going to have to re-add them anyways. It just doesn't make sense to. Why are my times getting wiped, right? Similarly, I mean, we don't do it that much anymore. In fact, it's actually been a long time since we wiped. But like, yeah, but we would regularly update the database and just wipe the database because we didn't have migrations or anything like that. So your times would just get fucking nuked, right? Like,
but we are doing that in like a month. Or
yes, and we are actually going to do that with the new backend, right?
And then probably a couple of times.
So, right, with 0.10, these questions start to get answered, right? With 0.10, we're having map submission, so we can answer that with add them, right? Go literally port a map and add it. Go through map submission. It's not, you know, that isn't on us to add thousands and thousands of map. We're really going to rely on the community to help us out here. You know, with times getting wiped, maps getting removed, or whatever, right? Like, things not being fully final. It's not 1.0 yet, right? We will have a lot of UI UX, or just a lot of UI, like labels, things like, hey, this isn't. We already have the pop up as an example, right? Like, hey, this isn't final. Things are going to be wiped, right? Like, just, you know, just hold tight. You can play it and enjoy it, but making that more pronounced, making that, hey, like, you know, regular wipes might happen because we're just messing around right now until 1.0, because we're trying to finalize a lot of our systems. Ideally, we don't wipe that many times, but obviously we will have to with the new backend being deployed. We're not going to migrate stuff over. It's just completely incompatible. And the new replay format is another major wipe, right? Because the old replays don't make sense to keep around if now we have a completely new format that we want to use going forward. And then this last question, right? Probably the most common question. We even got it literally minutes into our stream today. When can we get accepted? Like, how long, or, you know, when am I going to get accepted? Already. Oh, for sure. I know, it's, you know, they don't stick around. But the main thing to answer here, right? And the main thing that we want out of this is, once we release 0.10, oh wait, do I have a green screen effect?
Yeah,
that's so funny. What the hell? Okay, hold on. Great. Sorry about that. What's this? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. I was like, why the fuck does that look like that? Anyway, at 0.10, we will effectively have enough systems in place that once it's stable, I originally had an asterisk on this slide, but I just didn't want to keep making it kind of like tiptoeing around it. Once 0.10 is fully stabilized, as in we deploy it, our internal testers that we currently have now test it, nothing's on fire, right? We don't want to let everybody into a fire. Once it stabilizes, we are going to just allow everybody in. And this is a big deal because, you know, some of the questions we had internally, right? right? What about like I guess like some people have used more flavorful words. They could be considered excuses, but one of the things that we've said before, right, is the constant stream of playtesters coming in. The idea of having 350, or like a limited drop, gives us a constant stream of new faces that completely freshly install the game and give us feedback based on that. If everybody had access, we could be updating the game and maybe miss some file or some configuration or something based on a fresh install that we wouldn't really see. But the other thing too is like server stability. Right now we are hosted on like a 2-core VPS in Canada, and everything's like mainly on there. I don't even think it has backups. The fact that it's still fucking running is a miracle. Like it's amazing that it's still up. But like we're going to approach this with a better mindset around stability.
We would not open. There's no way we would ever open up with the current backend.
The current backend would probably catch on fire and burn down another OVH data
And I don't
center.
want to fix that fucking thing because I don't want to have to read codes to that again.
It is significantly out of date, years out of date at this
even
point.
Even if we wanted to open up the playtest before 010, we wouldn't do that.
And then the other, I think the biggest thing, right, is 1.0 was aiming to be the public release, right? Like the opening the floodgates, everyone in, right? So some of the kind of realizations and answers here, right? We'll still probably get an influx of playtesters. In fact, the number of people that have been requesting playtests has actually been growing steadily. Like it's been a constant like influx of people requesting playtests. I don't know if these are just hundreds of people making thousands of alts or some shit, but because we don't see exactly who, right, is requesting, but the numbers have been going up steadily. So that means even if it's open, there will be people that will find it and be like, oh, cool, like I can go and play the playtest, right, and download it new, right? Give us that fresh slate. Server stability, I kind of was hinting at this with Tom. We will have metrics in place. That's actually one of our staging deploy. It's still something we actually have to do for our staging deploy. But we will have metrics in place to see everything, right? See how many requests are happening. See where bottlenecks are. This is opening this up. Actually, technically, will make this a really good test run for kind of that 1.0 flood. And speaking of 1.0, right, it'll still be a giant event. Right? Like this is it's still a huge release because it's everybody and the leaderboards are pretty much like there, right? We might, who knows if we have to wipe a couple times. We'll see how all the systems working together are going to go. But there will still be so much testing before 1.0 that we will release 1.0 when we're super confident about it. So when we have that confidence, right, applying over to our marketing, over to, it's a wipe slate, it's a fresh slate, right? Yeah. It is, we will have a stream for releasing it, right? Opening the floodgates, literally doing it live. I don't think we can show us clicking the button, but like we'll do it on a stream, do it live. We might even have a tournament or something too for the release. We'll see. But there will still be a giant release, right? Like, and people maybe that have heard about the project and then dipped off because they were upset about how we were doing playtests before, maybe rehear about it and they get hype again or something, and it's there. Right, like
just to get on track, or like not that we're not on track, but just to clarify, you have said what we're doing, right? Because I feel like
that is the sorry. Right. So that is the previous slide, right? This. Yeah. So at 0.10, when it is fully stable, everybody will be accepted into the playtest. It is open. It is open playtest.
A bit after 0.10.
Yes.
You can stop complaining. That's when you're getting access. We're not.
That is when you're getting access. We'll still probably do 350 for a couple of weeks until we drop 0.10. I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
I think we should just stop doing drops until then. But
honestly, yeah, because there's going to just be minor updates.
So at that point, are we getting rid of the playtest app then? Can we go back to one app?
No.
No. Right? Yeah, no. It would be. So yeah, the playtest is. I mean, we could technically release an early access on Steam, but I like it being a separate thing because it's very clear. It's very clear that it's not the final actual like game or something. But we could. I mean, technically, right? Like that is akin to doing a public early access.
Okay, but we're not gonna because.
But we're not going to.
But the
Yeah.
The other thing is we're going to be very obnoxious in the game that all your times are getting wiped. For one, we're wiping everyone's times before then, right? So
Yes.
the leaderboards will have been wiped before we do this. Like nothing is going to be there. O10 will come out. It'll be a couple of weeks as we get stuff stable. We'll see how long it is. Then we'll give everyone access. The thing I wanted to really emphasize is we're not going to make a massive song and dance about it. We're not going to do a massive big
In fact, I
release
did
trailer.
Such a good job of that. You didn't even know I said it already.
Yeah. You put it in like slightly in greener text and everything else.
Yep.
But that's the point. We're not trying to do like a big thing about I do think like a kind of elephant in the room that we should talk about when it comes to drop stuff has been CS2 and the Counter-Strike thing.
Yeah. For sure.
Because I think it has made a lot of people much more desperate to get access to momentum, which is fair enough. That you don't like the platforms to play on are like way more all over the place. Like the CS:GO, some stuff is kind of playable. Then CS2 super jank. Unclear what's going to last out of all those servers and stuff. People wanting to get to momentum is very reasonable. With our current system, we simply could not give everyone access right now. Like it would not work with our backend. It just could not happen to low 10. So even if like
it also doesn't
we're
make
not
sense
obliged to like change our whole setup just because Valve did a dumb CS2 launch. Like that's not on us that Valve do stuff like that. I think the way they handled that stuff is terrible.
Yeah.
Isn't our fault. And so we can't like immediately start changing our whole like development cycle or stuff, trying to get some like stable build out for people like all the refugees coming from CS2 or whatever. Like that's just not reasonable. What we are saying though effectively is the soonest time we feasibly can do this and open stuff up, we are going to do it. So we have listened to people in this regard. Like it was genuinely someone being really rude to us on Steam forums. I think we discussed this a little bit before, and I think we need to bring it up at some point before 010. But like the last time we started discussing this was like a couple of weeks back, which was some guy just being just angry, just having a tantrum on Steam forums. And I guess just because I don't know, I feel somewhat sorry for those people. At the same way, like it's I don't know, only so much, but clearly people are frustrated by that stuff. So it was prompted to some extent by the fact people are just frustrated by that stuff, and we don't want to just arbitrarily upset people for no reason.
Right.
So
I do. I think we should ban that guy specifically.
I do think if you're just being rude because you are upset by something, it's hard to have a great deal of respect for that. It's childish.
Yeah,
but he's already said he's no longer following and supporting the mod. So
who was this? Oh, that guy, the forum guy? No, I think he did. Yeah. I think he was like, I think that guy was like, oh no, I think he like calmed down a bit, didn't he? Anyway,
did he? I put a response and then I never looked at it again because I didn't want to know what he would say in reply.
No, I think a lot of the time when we actually do talk to people like chill out a bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's generally when people have just been sitting there waiting for a long time, which frankly is reasonable. Like if you've just been sitting with no news about momentum stuff, we have been trying to be a bit more public about stuff. I did a big pinned thread on the Steam forums talking about stuff, but we do get the why people are frustrated by stuff. That being said, just because like CS2 or whatever has made the situation worse doesn't mean we can just magically release the game sooner. That's just not how it works. So what we're saying is we are going to open stuff up sooner than we initially intended. The game's also taking a lot longer than we initially intended, but that's just how game dev goes, and we've got other shit in our lives. But like, sorry, I'm kind of stealing your section, Nick, but I wanted to like.
No, it's good. It's good input.
I do really emphasize with people that are, especially with CS2, that are tied out by stuff. That being said, we're still 010 isn't still the full release, and if people come into it thinking, "Oh, I can finally play momentum. It's going to be great."
Yeah.
All your time is getting wiped, and a lot of stuff's going to be really jank still. That being said, there will be a lot more maps, and like Nick said, you can add maps if you really want them. Though you got to do it well, otherwise we'll yell at you.
Yeah, and it's also good to get input from Tom and others because this is a shared sentiment, right? It's not just me being like, okay, fuck it, 10 stable, let's really no. It's like we talked about this in our meetings and everything. So I have a giant Reddit post as well, responding to a comment about like kind of the history of the project and why it could really be seen as like feature creep or scope creep, but like so much has happened in the past, like even 5 years alone. We got fucking engine access, which is a giant move. you know, like that kind of stuff can seem like, oh wow, what the fuck are they doing? It's massively improving the project every single time. Adding, you know, rocket jump and sticky jump was such a eye-opening event for me that, you know, like the game fully realized itself when that happened.
Okay,
So
but I just want to emphasize something that like a lot of this stuff, like the website rewrite, no one was fucking doing. Like
yes,
the website rewrite we only finished like a year ago, and that was because myself and others stepped up and started doing it. Like that's
yes,
stuff that having multiple game modes made it a little bit more complicated, but not much. Like
right,
a lot of
yeah,
this stuff that we need on momentum, like a lot of it is only happening because it's that stuff isn't scope creep. It just isn't. Like whatever way you spin it, it is not scope creep. It's stuff that needed doing the whole time, takes a really long time to do, and we weren't getting contributors doing it. That's not to be too mean to everyone that didn't contribute to it, because obviously that's the majority of people here. But
right,
I mean,
right.
it's the reality. There are parts of momentum that are not in any way related to us having more game modes that we needed way more, like map submission stuff like Lumper. We would have been doing this anyway,
Right.
regardless of the mode. So
Yeah, and like opening
I mean,
it up,
true,
like you get people in, and then we're like, it's not that, right? Like a lot of like with O10O, right? Specifically, we have so much more content that it makes sense to allow everyone in as well because of just the content, right? The first question on this slide, right? Like we don't want people to get in, play the 3 surf maps that they can, and then leave, right? Like that was the main thing there. But with O10O,
well, they
with
can
all
leave and
these
come back
maps
for
that we could be adding, right? We get significantly more content for people to try out. We get feedback on that content as well as the rest of the game, ideally, as people are playing that. So it's just like it just didn't make sense at the time, and it's not like, oh, somebody complaining on a Steam forum or whatever opened our eyes to be like, oh, like yeah, we should probably be public. It is just the realization
It did a
that
little bit. I think it did a bit. Like,
the O10O release specifically, it wasn't like, oh, we should open it right now because it makes sense right now too. It's, oh yeah, okay, O10, okay, O10 makes sense. We'll have this content. We'll make sure that everything's worded correctly. And yeah, if we get the complaints, we'll have, you know, ways of getting around it. It's we currently have the same complaint, right, as that last question. The last question is currently the one that we're getting spammed with. So it's really just like we're addressing that question, and then the first 2 are just something that we will do our best effort around, just making sure that people are aware they could help. They could help with this, right? With adding maps, with translating the game, with I guess maybe not the times getting wiped, but hey, you know, if there's more devs working on the website, there's less wipes to do over time and stuff, right? So like that's the main thing. It's just like it made sense that O10 stable, yeah, that makes sense. Let's get everyone in. And O10 stable isn't like weeks or months after O10. It is probably, I mean, if O10 releases and it's fine,
we'll see how stable it is.
yeah, we'll see how stable it is. But I mean, we'll give it like maybe a day or 2. Just look at kind of like numbers and see if everything's okay, and then yeah, likely just pull the switch
Quite likely
there.
something viable.
Yeah, and so I mean, ideally, we're not making a song and dance about this, but we will mention this as part of the O10 kind of release, like ping or something. Like we'll make sure that this is, because again, like we're not. You guys are getting exclusive insider information with this, right? By watching this either live or on, well, live is the most exclusive, but on YouTube as well. But you know, like we'll make sure this is like at least aware. People are aware when we do the everyone ping for O10O, and then yeah, we'll make sure that you know, it's stable and everybody gets in and has a good time. But yeah, so with that. Well, I guess we can jump back to our standard question that we ask ourselves every single every single time of what has everyone been up to. If it hasn't been clear with the roadmap, O10O. But no, specifically myself and Tom, we've been working on getting the staging website, or the new backend, the new dashboard, eventually a new front end as well. We'll replace the page as well.
The front page, yeah.
Sorry, front page, yeah, front page and dashboard.
Sorry, should we show off a bit of all of that? I forget. What were we gonna? Are you gonna just capture my screen?
Yes,
or...
I can just capture your screen. So let me
let's do that. Let's just
show that off. A couple of other things while Tom's getting set up. O10O we will start. We've actually started pushing 0.10 builds to the upcoming branch on Steam. So if you have access to the playtest right now and want to break 0.10 as we add more things to it, feel free to check out that branch. Ideally, in the future after 0.10, it will be the next subversion, like 0.10.1, 0.10.2. Versions like that will be published to upcoming. So it should be somewhat stable. I mean, it might crash a couple times, but that's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So let me get this screen capture so Tom can walk us through your work. So let me get.
Yeah, this is a bit bad, isn't it?
Captured
Look at the
there.
padding here. Look at this.
And oh,
Disgusting.
is that it? Yeah, that's it. Cool.
Yeah. Look how bad this padding is.
Oh.
Look at that. Look at that. Need to fix that right away. Pathetic. Okay. Right. So web stuff. I think I showed this off last week. I don't remember. This is our new front page. This is like Momentum model. This one here.
Yes.
It's replacing this. This is currently like Angular in this and this. It's a mess. So
Yeah.
this is kill. We're getting rid of this and replacing it with this. I actually kind of like how not sort of as colorful that one is. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, we could maybe improve the contrast. It's all a bit. Anyway, this is our new site. It's nice, fun. We're missing some text. Rocket Jump is based on the soldier class from TF2, comma Lorem Ipsum. Yeah. Then I think I showed this off last month. I don't remember. Anyway, this is a new thing. This thing plays overkill, but I felt like it. Now a new dashboard. Dashboard, front end, whatever you want to call it. The main thing is the back end live. So if you go to what is it? This /docs. It's
Nice.
Swagger. So this stuff's all there.
Nice.
This looks a bit weird. So this is our docs of the new backend, which is live. And yeah, then we've got maps. So we've got maps.
We have our first 0.10 map right here.
What do I say of Jiminy Glick? Great stuff. And yeah, also map submission. Here's Belgium.
Belgium's
you
being
can
added.
see
Let's go.
Map review stuff. I mean, this is you need stuff that's in submission. You need to be logged in to see. AHOP Glick. Anyone should be able to see. This thing should be public.
Wait, maps in submission, are they in public testing or what?
I can't remember. Actually, maybe public testing's fine. I don't. I'd have to log myself out and then log in again.
No, public
Also,
testing isn't. Only no beta maps are public.
Oh,
really?
Yeah, okay, so you won't be able to see.
Oh, we just held back the whole endpoint. Yeah, I guess it saves some of the logic. I mean, yeah, with some stuff, some of the more complicated stuff, we do want you to log in. Yeah, I have the XP system's broken. We're going to rework XP relatively soon. Well, there's a mixture of stuff. All the like calculation systems that we're rewriting. It's going to be this psycho Redis thing. It's going to be great. And yeah, so I'm all through Belgium and 2-4. Good stuff. Blank managed to break this, so that's good. The front end's a little bit jank. I went through
Please break it. Please break it as much as you can.
It's really helpful.
This is really helpful, actually. Like, not sarcastically. It's what we're looking for.
If we had unlimited time, we'd be doing a lot of testing, including fun like front end to end testing, Cypress, whatever. And we're not doing that because I don't have time. It would take a very long time. The back end's really well tested, most part. But the stuff, yeah. DF, RJ DF BL surf map, great. And then it's this is the new one.
What the fuck? He did a redo?
That's crazy.
That's nuts. I'm gonna have to memorize a new
That's
URL
great.
now. Oh,
Yeah.
Baby Coyote, let's go.
I don't know why. What is this? Greece, and then it's the guy from Greece.
The wickedly talented.
Yeah. Someone was like, "Oh, does Markdown work here?" And then wrote some like HTML. I thought that was really funny. So, the if you've not seen the Jiminy Glick Bill Hader thing, it's quality Glick. It's probably his best ever interview, which is great. Anyway, this map does exist, by the way. I could show it off in a minute. And yeah, so map submission works now. If you want to, you can go in and submit stuff. Stuff doesn't work in game yet. We're close to getting it working, but it's lots of stuff that's annoying to tie together. And like we don't have the resources to do all this endless fancy stuff to get like we get the stuff live, and we expect some of the front end to break, and then some of the game to back end stuff breaks. The back end has been doing great so far. That's nice. That's the scary thing that does all the complicated work. Database stuff. That's all well tested. That's been going swimmingly. But then, yeah, other random things are breaking, so that's fine. We're letting them break and just fixing them. So yeah, map submission. I've shown this stuff before quite a bit, but I guess I could quickly just run through an example map submission. You upload BSPs. It's got fancy drag drop stuff, all this fancy zone validation. You do description. Yeah. You add a background, a grimace. You can Reddit people. Look, it's Fishy made this. Thanks for making this, Fishy. Thanks for making this, Fishy. Leaderboards, private testing. Private testing is fun. Private testing means only you and people you invite can see the map. So if I do, I don't know, someone S, his name starts with S. I think we should actually do just a whole like user list. Okay, 2. And then what am I missing? Something's wrong. A lot of validation. You got to do submission type. There we go. Okay, everything's like there's like these checkboxes. It's all fancy, dynamic, angular, whatever. Like, look, oh, it goes red because it's wrong. Angular form.
Too good too.
I'm a form god. Submit map. Let's see if pre-signed URLs work. They seem to be working. Good job, Gordy. I'm really glad Gordy did that. Like,
the progress bar works too. Oh, sweet, nice. And then it actually submits it.
Oh, this is the back end being slow to then. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, doctor. So then map upload complete, and there we go. A map. Beautiful. Fishy.
Nice.
Thanks for making this, Fishy. I can't review this because I made this, but other people that have made a map, like I can go here, I can write a review, and you can put stuff. We'd like to hook up reviews in game eventually, but right now you can't.
Keep in mind, reviews are for in-progress maps. Once maps are released, you can't review them.
Exactly. So the idea is you can play it and suggest a tier, and if you think it should be ranked or not. So unranked means it still has a leaderboard, but you don't get rank points in the overall game mode. And you can do multiple game modes, so this is fun. Like this could be rocket jump and all this stuff, and you can comment on stuff. This is very difficult, still very easy, nice. And post a review. Look at that, Dogathan, beautiful. You can mark stuff as needing resolving, and we have official reviewers who can post these reviews that need resolving, and so it's a bit like GitHub and GitLab do stuff and all that good stuff. Yeah. So this thing's fun. If you want to play around with this, by all means, go ahead. If you find bugs, let me know.
Yeah, please let us know. Please let us know.
GitHub. Yeah. And this is genuinely open for everyone. Oh, look, you can see all the admin stuff, changing all this stuff. That's fun.
It's it is anyone that's only signed up once. So either played the game or signed into the it's like users in our database. Yeah.
There's also a placeholder system. You can create a placeholder, which is like when the map gets approved, we make a fake user that's like a placeholder user. I think Jiminy Glick is one. Because I credited Jiminy Glick as the author of Jiminy Glick. Where is it? Here. This is a bug. It kept this like fake placeholder around, but then it's actually made a placeholder user for this. So all fancy backend stuff that I'm glad is working. Lots of this stuff is fairly unfinished. We've already done this big rewrite, and a lot of the front end stuff I redid recently. I'm actually really pleased with the new front end. Some of it you can kind of tell looks a bit jank. Like this stuff is all a bit. The activity stuff we're reworking quite a lot, but the new map pages, as silly as this image is, it's quite a pretty website. You must admit. And also, we'll make the game look a bit more like this in the future. Oh, look, it's that Chromium bug with shadows.
It happens on Firefox too. Yeah, I had it happen too.
Okay,
yeah.
Then I guess I need to fix it. Oh, there's hidden leaderboards as well. I won't go into those now. They're complicated. But yeah, bonuses. Oh, this thing's glitched because I approved it in a way that you're not actually allowed to do. It was a hack. So it should have tiers here, but there's an issue for that. There's also there's a bit of padding here that shouldn't be there. What's that? MT4. There's the culprit. Get out of here. I've got an eye for these things. Anyway, so this is live. You can play around with it. Yeah, bonuses are coming in 0.10. All the backend stuff supports bonuses. The one thing we're missing is styles. We'll do that. With styles, we can do the pro mode KZ stuff. But yeah, that will be half sideways, all that good stuff, and maybe like no jump, rocket jump, or whatever, stupid things like that. And then there's also split game modes like CPM and defrag VQ3. The styling of this is all a bit crap. We need to redo these icons, but yeah. Sorry, I'm taking too long with all this. Should I now go to the other thing? The other part of map submission, which is getting maps ready for submission.
Yes.
For which we have Lumper. This is our new program. I guess everything might be a little bit small on stream, but hopefully this is okay. This is Lumper. Right now I'm editing AHOP Coast Improved, where I'm adding Dogathan. So Lumper is a BSP editor. It can load a BSP file, parses it all, or parts of it, the parts we care about. You can edit entities like entspy and stuff. You can also edit it as a big text document like this using our fancy Avalonia edit thing, which I'm a big fan of. Pack File Explorer, this lets you like look inside the zip file that you can store in BSPs. This is really helpful for moderation, but you can also edit stuff. So there's like a whole text editor. Add lol get learn ad block. There you go. Use that. So this like building text editors, like if you want to edit VMT. I think I was doing that with where is it? Custom textures. No, these are cube maps. I'm an idiot. Coast directions. Yeah, you'll see what this is for in a minute when I get Nick to play it. These are fun, scary material proxies. But yeah, it's like a built-in text editor. Very nice for like tweaking stuff. And then Dogathan. And yeah, you can like replace an image with like if I wanted to do, I don't know, like youngling. You can do this. You can just put stupid images in there.
That got me. That's pretty good.
Or Jiminy Glick. I've got a lot of photos of Jiminy Glick. This is using VTF lib under the hood. It's really good. I'll show AHOP Glick as well. That thing's fun. And then a texture browser. This is partly for moderation, right? When a map's in submission, we want to be able to really quickly go in and like see stuff. One thing I did kind of just for fun, because I was so bored of doing all this like DevOps stuff, was recently I made it so if I want to open AHOP Glick, right? Hopefully this works. Some stuff I was doing today might break it, but if I go to here and then go to copy link address, well, I can also do it in the really fancy way if I still have it. Do I have it? No, I used to. I added a thing where it does like a Lumper like URL thing and register with the system. So if you just click on a link, it will open Lumper and do that. But I can't show it off right now. But
it's in the stash, yeah.
But this, look, I paste a URL and load. It will load it over HTTP. AHOP click. Look at that, beautiful. This is him getting scared of his own finger. So yeah, Lumper is. I spent way too long on it, especially because Bird did a lot of it already and did a fantastic job of it, and now like it's all. I'd spent a lot of time sprucing it up. Oh, sorry, the one thing I didn't mention is jobs. Like if you want to replace every text, you'll see that in a minute when Nick plays AHOP Coast Improved. It can apply stripper configs. So servers that have a stripper config, which are usually ways of deleting entities and stuff, or adding entities like at runtime on just the server. It doesn't change the whole BSP, right? It just we'll do Mirror World on AHOP Coast Improved.
On AHOP Coast Improved. Oh yeah.
God. But yeah, you can pick like a stripper file. I don't know if I can find one, but it's like let me just find one real quick because it's nice to show.
For those that haven't or don't know what it is, a stripper config is it edits a BSP to like remove entities and stuff, but at runtime because it's for servers which load BSPs and you know.
So here, if I've got like lumpertest.config, I don't wanna open VS Code. I'm worried it's got something spooky secret in right now. But here, if I do this, if I try to run this, if I click run, hopefully, yeah, it did some stuff. Set value of origin to yada yada, created an entity. It's really nice. Bird did all this. He did a great job. And it's So obviously, this is kind of overkill. A lot of this stuff, but the important thing for us is like. We really want to get maps like cleaned up from Momentum and not have to wipe leaderboards because we've had to fix up a map or whatever. And especially because some of the newer maps for Momentum don't work in some of the existing editors. Like the closest thing we have to Lumper is called Vide, but it's like 10 years out of date and isn't open source, unfortunately. Yeah. And yeah, it doesn't work with newer BSP versions. And Lumper, the other thing it can do is it can compress BSPs when you save them out, which is really helpful. Our backend actually only allows a compressed BSP because like generally they decrease the BSP size by about I don't know 3 to 5 times.
Yeah.
So it's just wasting people's hard drive space and our file store stuff, which does cost us money to not compress them. Yeah, fuck it, Cloudflare pays for that. But like yeah, so yeah, Lumper, big fancy tool. Well, not super big, but it's fancy. It's got all this reactive UI stuff. It's overkill, but it was fun. And yeah, we kind of have a sort of fake release out just over Discord. We'll get a proper release out on GitHub soon. But what we'll have is when so when 0.10 comes around, all the kind of guidelines for what you should do importing a map, which in lots of cases won't be very much, but some things like some maps have like music, right, that play out and you just can't turn it off and it's really annoying. Our way of making music be like controllable where I write sliders is to just have it in sound/music in the pack lump, right?
Yeah.
And so all you need to do in Lumper if you want to do that is like move it. And what Lumper can do, which is neat, is if I've got like a, let's see, hopefully if I do this, if I move this texture like to here, okay, that's Jiminy Glick getting strangled by Ice Cube. If I do this, update instances, abyss, other stuff in the path, it's not going to do it. Fuck. Did it do it? Wait, no.
Yeah,
Grass 06. I need to.
Yeah, grass 06. It's below grass 1, right? It's in the parent.
Yeah, no, I moved it, but I want it to move the this real world texture.
Gotcha.
Oh, I think it might not be. I think
Case.
it's case sensitivity.
Yeah.
Someone make an issue on GitHub. I'll fix that. That's funny. Yeah, C# will be doing it with a case sensitive comparison because I didn't think of that. But in general, it can change stuff in here, and it's fancy. It's also just fun to write. I couldn't resist. But Jiminy Glick, what a champion. Anyway, I've spoken about this too long, but yeah, that's Lumper. It's really neat. It's been mostly me and Bird working on it. We've had a couple of other people. If people want to contribute, do some C#, want to do some fun reactive UI, modern kind of spooky, fancy WPF, but for Linux as well. It's great. So these kind of things have been really fun to work on. Hopefully people contribute, use Lumper. We'll have docs for all this porting stuff, and then you'll be able to follow the guides, port a map, and then go to the thing and submit it, and actually get it in the game with full leaderboards and everything. So yeah, lots of work, but it's finally mostly done. So that's like 010, and I'm very excited. Cool. I think I'll shut up now. I've been going on for a really long time. Oh, was I going to show off the hammer thing, or were you?
Yeah, no, yeah, you can show it off real quick too.
Let me see if it works. We also have some work on hammer that we've not been talking about that much, but
yes, but we will for 010 and onwards.
I don't know if this will work. Is this going to work? I've not used this in a while. This looks like Qt, I think.
The main page here is not, but the texture browser will.
Yeah, so hopefully, yeah, this is a rewritten texture browser in Qt, and it's fast.
It's very fast.
It's faster than Lumper. I'm really upset. Though I think Esther was talking a way to make it even faster. It's pretty fast. Oh, it's like it's doing yeah. So does it have to load this all into to make like bitmaps, right? Anyway, so a lot of Hammer is sort of dialogues that we've been gradually porting to Qt. Hammer's a bit of a funny thing for us. Like in some places we've been doing like improved features, getting some of the features from Hammer++ and other things over into our Hammer. But it's all been a bit up in the air, and also
wait, what?
Yeah.
Why? Oh, okay. There. That should be good. So why did I do that? I guess whatever. I guess I was getting the webcams previously. Okay. It should be good now. Sorry about that again. Okay. Weird filters.
But yeah, so Hammer speedy loading stuff, this is really cool. But we would have loved to have had like a full Hammer release out for 010 that has like every new feature we want. Like obviously a lot of people really want Hammer++'s lighting preview. We really want to do that. Right now we're holding off on doing it because of some work being done by Smade that I'm not sure we want to reveal yet, because it's honestly something that people get very excited about, and we should probably talk about that another time. But
you've just said that in the way to like generate the most hype possible.
Yeah, but it is genuinely really exciting. So, as Warren said, like that we have some
nerds are going to be excited about
it. It's not just nerds; it actually looks good as well. So unlike some refactors, it actually we have some potential graphical improvements that it would be especially good for new maps using things like PBR. I don't know how much we want to go into details there, but it's a thing in the works, and so doing Hammer lighting preview right now, we'd rather wait until we've got CR. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Is that a good? Yeah. So yeah, Hammer's been nicely going. We should really give a shout out to especially Ozgybox and SCell. SCell is licensed for Momentum, but does a lot of kind of general strata work.
Yes.
SCell's like astonishingly good as an engine programmer. Also Ozgy, some of the like PDCE lot are just ridiculously good. And they've been really grinding away on a lot of the Hammer Qt stuff, which is quite thankless work. But like, if you want to do work on Hammer, like to improve Hammer, with the current UI system that Hammer is using, it's so hard to do stuff because it's genuinely like UI from the 90s and very little stuff supports it. And it's just I mean, Feichel's done a great job with Hammer++, but like he's
Mhm.
had to do a great deal of hacks to get that to work.
Yeah.
And our approach has been a longer term thing, for better or for worse, where we, wanted to clean up a lot of the base UI stuff, which means porting a lot of existing stuff to Qt, which is again really thankless work, but it does give us a much firmer base to work off of. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It'd be cool, in the future to be able to maybe even
Yeah.
look into open sourcing it. We would love to have Hammer and tooling be open source. I mean, that's why all of our tooling is open source.
Nick, it's
Yeah.
your dream to get a Hammer open source, and
it
I
is. It's a
refuse to believe that Valve will ever even answer our emails about it. But
yeah, for
it
sure.
would be great. It would
Yeah,
be
it
so
would be a
good.
great first step. Because now that, I mean, other than TF2,
Yeah.
right, now that Source One's kind of just out of the picture for them, I don't know if they would really care that much, but if we replace a lot of stuff, maybe. I don't know. It's just a dream. It's a pipe dream. So, but yeah, I am very proud of all of this progress. Like this is an important question that gets asked every single Q&A, but it's good to show it off. It's really just like this kind of stuff is like, what will like provide such a cohesive platform for momentum, right, in the long run of the tooling to get everywhere. Like we don't rely on decades old tooling for everything. We can go in.
Yeah.
It's why things like engine access are very important. While that does increase scope a bit, we get things like this. We get things like Hammer. We get things, right? We can fix things in the engine, improve it to DX11, things like that. So it's amazing to see this. So, thank you for showing that off. I guess the rest of kind of just like everyone's just mainly been working on O10. We've been kind of planning out. I think we were doing some spec work for community moderation and reports, and and Lumia
We could
even
probably
has
talk
a
about that at future Q&A, but it's really cool. And Lumia wrote a great spec for it.
So we
if you
have
say-
a way to
yeah.
report somebody in game now that with security
It's
around
quite easy to do.
assuring us that that's what this person said. So that's amazing, and it's all
A way to do moderation that's not really intrusive,
yes,
but does mean that if you go in like a big public lobby and start spamming slurs, we will ban you, and we know that you did it, and so we just ban you, or we'll community mute you and that stuff. So that'll be fun. And no slurs, just in case Rhodey's watching. By slurs, I mean like offensive slurs, not like the F word. By that I mean fuck. Like you're allowed to say fuck. But if you're like joining lobbies and saying really bad words and being downright offensive to people, you'll get permanently muted, or it is muted for a long time. Kind of like how CS:GO does, but we actually human moderate it. So if you're saying really offensive stuff and someone reports that stuff, then we get sent the stuff you just said, just that, and we know it's you that said it, so don't say it. Basically.
Yep.
Encryption, baby. Or cryptography.
Yeah.
Not
cryptography,
whatever.
But it's
The
technically
good kind of crypto.
Yeah.
The good kind of crypto. Yeah.
Cool.
BSP convert is a long, but there's less to show of BSP convert because it's just a command line thing. Lumper has a big fun UI, so
yeah. And we could even add a job to Lumper to run BSP convert and stuff. Like there's things like that.
Yeah, Lumper can run an external program on a file you have loaded. You can pick an executable, so you could use BSP convert within Lumper if you want.
Yeah.
Kind of, I think. Lumper crashed. Bye. Anyway, I'm gonna stop streaming now because you've seen enough.
Cool. But yeah, that is what everyone's been up to. I mean, we'll have more over time. I'm sure I missed a couple of things too.
Can I just point out one thing?
Yeah, go for it.
Inscreaker almost has the zoning UI in game working.
Yeah.
He was kind of pushing himself to get it done for this weekend, and I think it's pretty close. But we were saying we've got loads of stuff to show off this Q&A anyway, so we'll probably show that off next month. But
have we shown the new Steam branch yet?
Yeah, do you want to just show it over Steam, or should we have people to use it? I guess I can screen share again if you want to. I mean, it's so easy. Just go on Steam, go to properties, and then betas, upcoming.
filters.
I just got it upcoming, and there you go. And then you can play on a really, really, really broken Steam branch.
Oh yeah.
Can we just while we're here? Can I show off the dog map?
Yeah.
Let
Let
me
I
just-
think I have it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I do not on playtest. I need to get it.
Let
for
me
playtest.
let me just send you it. I think this. Let me just double check
I
this
thought
is
I
right.
had it.
Oh, I was
This,
gonna do the jump sounds, but
This new branch
I do not
is
have
basically 0.10.0.
it's
So this
0.10
is-
pre-release. But fuck,
Yeah.
it's
This is the first public taste of what we've been working on for like a very long time now.
we're close to getting the back end working with it, but it's not there yet. So the next week or so, we'll probably start getting some of the back end integration. Run submission's going to be the last thing that comes.
Yeah.
But a kind of goal here is by making it like really getting stuff live is a good way to kind of test stuff and be a bit more aggressive with like testing. I put the thing in voice team, Nick, if you want.
Okay, yeah, let me get that.
There's already been some people who've found bugs in like the Half-Life movement in Half-Life B-Hop, so testing has already started.
Nice. Yeah. And so that's the we need to do a mirror mode as well, Nick.
Oh yeah, okay, I can do that. I don't know
I
if it
can
needs
read
cheats
questions.
or whatever, but no, I shouldn't.
Say again?
I can read questions.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Fine.
Happy's here now, by the way.
Yeah.
nice.
Hello.
Welcome,
Hi,
Happy.
Happy. Oh, you didn't introduce yourself. This is Happy.
Yes, hi. I just kinda got late, so I don't think I need to anyway, so Hi, I do music and localization. Hi.
Welcome.
Okay, moment of truth.
Oh Jesus.
I don't know if it's Mirror World. Hold on.
Yeah, just turn
It's
it
not
on.
mirror worldy, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
The one.
Oh,
So you got to
man.
go left out of the spawn.
Yeah,
rather
the
than right.
left. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
god. Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
you might have just no clip to the spawn
Yeah.
area. I was
if,
getting
I
an
can,
issue with it.
if I can find it.
Okay, I guess I
Below
can
you.
read, I
Oh,
guess I
okay.
can read the first
Are
question.
you in my lobby? No, join the lobby, Nick.
So
for it.
disorienting. All right. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so first
What is
question
the
is
logo?
from the first question is from Beninho. What's your favorite ice cream flavors?
You guys
I
can
guess
take
like
it
a good
first.
like Italian ice cream. I'd go for like I guess can I say sorbet? Am I being a prick if I say sorbet?
Sorbet's not ice cream.
I like acidic ice cream. So like some kind of like, rhubarb or like Italian like gelato and then
I do like
you know,
gelato.
something nice and acidic. I'm not a big fan of like chocolate. Come on now.
I think the best ice cream I've ever had, like flavor by itself or like, just like a scoop of it, is this like peach cobbler ice cream.
Yeah.
It had like little is the teleport resetting my like looking? Did you mess with the teleporters?
Oh, it's a landmark, so it's actually you just went to a whole different part of the map.
Oh, gotcha. But it reset how I was
Wait,
looking.
the landmark tallies not work with Mirror World?
No, wait,
Surely they would.
No, they
it's your view, or-
should.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened. I'm confused.
This is
Frankly,
so
I don't
disorienting.
care.
The scrolling dog. I'm trying to get across the water. I can't. Oh, this is
The
water.
scrolling dog. Yeah, the
Dogathan.
rolling hills of Dogathan.
I can't even tell if it's like
So,
walkable.
just for people that are interested. So the way this is done, this is Lumper. This is one of the easiest things to do with Lumper, which is
Texture.
you go in,
box.
you run the replace texture task, and you can do regular expressions, right? So you do like, what is it? Caret dot asterisk $. So like start of line, everything to end of line, replace with the Dogathan texture.
Yeah,
and
see,
that's
it
what you
like
need to do. It
reset.
replace every single texture. Yeah, it's a landmark.
Am I even going the right way? It like turned me around.
It's disorientating.
I
this is
kinda
the right
late.
way.
I kinda late, but I guess we can say epilepsy warning or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked. I make it. I can't tell. There's no depth perception. Dagathan is not.
No.
Dagathan is not a good depth perception.
Labradors are not known for their. Yeah, I see what's happening. I'm not sure what's going. I think I just broke the landmark TPs because
Oh
I've been
my
playing
God,
this a lot, and it's not like that
field.
normally.
That's very good.
Is it dog?
Yeah,
Oh, it's dog.
Oh, but the barrels are. Oh, it didn't replace the textures on the models.
No, yeah, the models are different.
Yeah.
I'm not with static props. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Is this the version with the footsteps?
Oh no, I didn't
that's
get
only
those.
for me. I didn't get a chance to like pack them in. Yeah, I have like dog footsteps. I actually have them like all over Momentum. Every wood
Wait,
text.
yeah, can't a map override? Yeah,
Yeah,
a
it
map
could.
will
I
be
just
able
didn't
to.
bother.
Oh, gotcha.
I just
Okay.
didn't be us. Yeah, these are material proxies, by the way, which is the thing that's animating them. It's like you can. It's a really cool system in Source where you can like transform stuff based on like some function sort of generator thing. So this is a lot of sine waves and random like linear ramps. So it's being like rotated, translated, the scales
ocean in the
changing. Yeah. Yeah, I really like if you just no clip out and just look at like it's good to see like a big kind of range of different sized dogathons. I think there is something sickly about it, but there's also something
there's a little something
calming.
for everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this tunnel. Oh, this is bad.
Looked like it moving so fast.
And now okay. All right, I'm going this way.
Yeah, so it's a really, really, really stupid map, but it's nice that you can do this. You know, to decompile the map is like the main thing, right? It's just an existing BSP, and you just tweak it. Yeah. And Lumper it's
packs
a lot of like
makes it work.
Yeah, the main thing is like people really struggle with packing assets into the map a lot of the time, and Lumper's a really good way to do it. There's also Compile Pal, which we highly recommend. Lumper and Compile Pal together are a really, really good combo. But yeah, if you want to be able to just edit a pack file, do whatever you want with it.
Okay, I'm going this way.
And Lumper's really good.
It's so hard to tell I'm going somewhere because of Dagathan going the opposite way. Oh man, it looks like I'm going backwards, but I'm not. Oh, this is playing tricks on my mind.
Hey, yeah, Eels want to like. Are you rank 2? Or did you get world record? I can't remember. Eels a good HR2 runner. Good. Yeah, this is a new version of Coast. I like the lighthouse here. If you look at the lighthouse, it's great stuff. Full world record. Yeah.
Look at them go.
You get like phase patterns.
Oh, but the inside there's a slow rolling one.
Yeah.
And then probably up top too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's.
This is actually not even Half-Life 2. This is actually a pre-release of Half-Life 3.
Nintendogs edition.
This is HL2 beta.
This is my beta mod I've been working on.
Yeah, don't let those Russian psychos, the beta lot, get a whiff of this. Can you imagine like leak it to them like act as if this was like a
HL3 thing.
HL2 beta crew.
I don't even. Where do I go?
I guess to kind of close the question, I'm a regular personally, so I like just like a chocolate ice cream and pistachio. I don't know how to pronounce pistachio.
Pistachio.
Yeah, pistachio. Yeah, that's a really good flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, it's this way.
Oh Jesus.
Dagathan's telling me where to go in the caves.
My
it's like
favorite ice cream is cold.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I just like to eat a big hunk of ice from time to time.
I just like to eat a big hunk.
Big hunk. Oh.
Yeah. I think maybe the drunkest photo of me that exists is me and a friend of mine in a nightclub where there was like a big pitcher, like a pitcher like plant, no, like a jug thing, just full of these massive chunks of ice, and for some reason we put them in our mouth. That was good.
Nice.
Yeah, the sewers of Dogathan.
Can we move on to the next question?
Yeah.
We're about like an hour and a half into this stream, and we've answered a single question.
It's all good. Some of these are really straightforward to answer.
Yeah, a lot of.
Okay, the next question is from Monuri. How accurate is rocking jump and sticky jump?
It should be as close to 1-to-1 as possible because we have access to the source code. Yeah. So we have TF2's source code. We've implemented rocket jump and sticky jump now based off of that. So it should be 1-to-1, but there are fixes on top of it, and we are 0 ping. So rocket jump and sticky jump are projectile based modes, so ping actually plays a lot into how it feels. A lot of people, oh my god, is it going left and right?
A new map in the voice team, Nick.
Oh, okay. God damn. But anyway, yeah, we have let me get this map really quick. Sorry, we have the source code, so we've been pretty much implementing it as is, and then tweaking it to improve it. So it is the same but better. But there also might be some slight differences with things like, I believe, like water behavior and stuff that Lumia, you've
We
been
tried to make water more consistent.
yeah, more consistent, and just like
Yeah, in
aspects
terms
of those modes more consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of accuracy, it's very accurate. There might still be some small movement bugs. There are differences though, but they're all deliberate differences.
Yeah, like certain really jank stuff in Rocket Jump, and like edge bugs are more consistent for us, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like edge bugs are
fixes.
more consistent. We're working on getting rid of random bounces. We're working on making water sharking more consistent, like when you bob on water. Probably the most noticeable difference in sticky jump is no health and 3 stickies, although that might change. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are changes, but they are deliberate. But the base movement is the same code as TF2. And so all of the weird tech that you expect to work probably does work. And if it doesn't, it's either a bug or it's something we deliberately remove.
Yeah, the main thing that doesn't work off the top of my head is just wall bugs. Everything else should be fine.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, but that's a thing that we specifically deliberately remove.
Yeah, it's just collision changes at the engine level.
Also,
but
I think it's
fix that sort
currently
of thing.
live is rollers in Sticky Jump are deterministic.
Yeah,
I think we
aren't
pushed
interesting, yeah.
I remember we looked into this. We haven't actually enabled that yet. Like we've
Oh,
got
we not?
noticed in
Okay.
the RNG, but it's still v physics.
Oh, okay.
I think Rio had proof of concept, like non v physics stickies. I don't think it ever got merged though.
Oh, okay.
But the other randomness from how they're shot, that's been weird. So they are a lot more consistent.
Can I make it? Oh my god, I need more
Nick,
speed.
you see where you are right now? That wall?
Yeah.
No flip and go through it.
This wall that's like straight ahead?
Yeah, in front of you, yeah. Up a bit.
Pretty good. Is this normally visible with like glass up there or something?
It's Traz's like persona or something.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Replaced it with your own persona.
Yeah, the Powerade chimp.
Powerade chimp.
Is
Liz
somewhere on this map?
The Skybox is really great. Oh no, she used to be in there. That is the other map, the Surf Rookie, where the only change I made is to the last stage.
Beautiful map.
Should we move to the next question?
Yeah, let's go ahead to the next one.
Okay, the next the person's nickname is not like a slur, but it's, I don't know, I'm gonna say POH. I'm not gonna risk it anyway. So POH ask, will plugins for SJ, RJ like bchecker and syncr be implemented?
So is this guy's name like a curse word in Russian or something?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to risk it anyway. Just.
Is it like offensive to a group of people, or is it just like?
Nah. Like.
No,
it's like more of a I don't care type of slur. It's not slur. It's like you call the person who doesn't care about anything.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, it's not like
epic name.
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of this, plugins. So the functionality of these, yes, in some planned way, we plan on having it. I don't know how we'll actually implement like the bcheck plugin. I don't know if we're going to have the same thing where you have to like look at the ground and then choose the ceiling, if any, and it'll show you a list of heights or whatever, or like list of bounces. I don't know if we'll do that or if we'll have some like fancier thing. But yeah, we'll have stuff for that. In terms of plugins specifically, though, we don't support source mod, so it'll be something built into the game. It won't be a plugin. So you'll have it when you just download the game. You won't have to install a plugin. It'll just be part of the game.
We're planning on expanding out our practice mode. At the moment, it's literally just like a observational no clip, so you can go scout out the rest of the level. But in future, we want to have tools like syncr to help you hone in the timing that you can only have active while you're in this practice state, and then when you go back to your run, you don't have like the assist anymore because it's a bit too strong to. It's a bit too strong to have on when you're playing.
I like the eye pillar. That's pretty good.
Atraz hasn't seen this yet, by the way. I can't wait to. I'll make him watch.
Significantly improved his map.
I like there's just random like eyes on the sides. Look at the side bits of. Wait, look below you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, these. Oh, the finger too. The finger almost points to it.
No, look to your right of it. Look. Okay, turn around. Wait.
We can move on to the next question.
Yeah.
No. I give up.
No, we cannot until Tom's found this.
So when's release? You got here too late. You can't join the question and immediately ask when's release. We've just been talking about like progress and stuff remaining. So go back and watch the WOD. Come on now.
Yeah, we're gonna make a Doom WOD of this Q&A. You have to play it to find out the answer.
Okay, so the next question is from the same person. Will it be possible to implement a TSA toolset like Nolem's ToolAssist?
Yes.
That's kind of eventually, but it's low priority.
Yep.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a post 1.0 thing. We kind of have some like really basic stuff in terms of like segmenting with save states and stuff like that, but like full scale task tools, I'm skeptical that we'll get that before 1.0.
Yeah, I think working on tasks before that, unless nobody's got anything to do, which if someone's working on tasks, we've been badly organized and should have figured stuff out in a different way, such that there's something more useful they could be working on. Oh yeah, just segment.
It's
I think we are going to
rewind ticks,
segmented.
and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to rewind ticks in our segmented. It'll probably just be exclusively save load stuff.
Yeah, in Rocket Jump and Sticky Jump, task tools basically are just segmented runs, but other game modes like in Surf, there's more sophisticated task tools that
so just like a segmented kind of task. Doing a leaderboard for that, we might even be able to do quite soon as just part of styles. So we might have a segmented test thing pretty early on, but we'll see.
I think that'll kind of depend on save states getting finished for it to.
Yeah, the save states will be finished by 1.0 because we need it for OC. So a lot of the work I think after replays will be a lot of save state and all that kind of serialization work there. So do we want to play with a KV?
We are planning on expanding to have full task leaderboards once task is done, so you can have.
Yeah, we love task. Task is great.
An actual comparison.
Oh, I have Hightower. What did we call it?
Brilliant.
KZ.
What one are we doing? I wanted to do the Galaxy. Can we do Galaxy because it's nostalgic? I think I posted it.
Yeah, where is it? Can you post it in voice?
Okay, here. I'm uploading it.
We'll have to do game mode override.
General momentum. Okay, whatever. I'll put it in voice general so anyone can download it.
One thing that would be really nice for us though is to have the ability, whether we have leaderboards for it or not, but just the ability to play back segmented runs because people use those all the time. Map showcases.
Yeah.
Like it would be great to be able to make map showcases on Momentum, but right now it's not really feasible without a lot of extra hand editing.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're not super far off that, but we'll sort of see. Quite a lot of this stuff kind of depends on these kind of big, lower level systems that we need to do first. That then,
Man, I love glass footsteps. They're my favorite.
Yeah, they're loud. This is like a bad map, but for some reason it just holds like a place in my heart. It was probably like one of the only climb maps I've like played a lot. That I played when I was like 12.
Before we move on the next question, I want to point something out. If you look at the stream, there's like 1 pixel of void between the question and like where the...
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, I could try to adjust the crop. You mean the Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
like
The left side of it.
Make it 2 pixels.
Okay, I'll widen it real quick.
No, one is the most frustrating. One is like pain
Alright,
to
hold
like
on.
any
Questions.
web or graphic designer. I made a save state on this like spinny thing and ruined my run.
Okay, is that better? I think.
Yeah, Nick, have you got the map?
Yes. Sorry, I was fixing
For those
that.
who haven't, those who if this is your first time seeing Momentum, we're not using the map selector really today because we're on a really broken 010 build and all the backend stuff doesn't work. Usually, very easy to get new maps, but today it isn't.
What's
it
the
sucks.
game mode?
3,
Override?
I think we want for this. This will give us
Yeah,
like
3.
I'm not actually sure how finished this climb stuff is. Please take this all with a pinch of salt. The thing that I think is most finished is 1.6, but yeah, Game Kills isn't here, so I'm losing track of where climb's at, to be completely honest. We've got too much stuff on right now. Too many things.
Did it do it?
Do it. You did
Oh
a
yeah,
reload?
yeah. It doesn't have auto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the thick slide.
Oh.
Yeah.
The what?
Oh, what was it? Bind Z. What is it? Z axis. What is that? Okay. Anyway,
I couldn't
bind Z
get
is
the
show. Was it show TP menu? What was the command?
yeah, it's
Oh,
hard
it's
menu.
Do,
There's
Hard
a
to
find
show
in
you.
the settings if you want to just go to.
do we move on to the next
Yeah.
question?
Yes. Yeah. Let's go ahead and click the next one here.
The next question, will there be runs only for main tracks or for bonuses too?
Yeah, we
We'll have
got
runs
that.
for main tracks, bonuses, courses.
Yeah, we've already kind of discussed this. With all of this is coming for. The only thing we're not having is styles. And then for stuff like Rocky Jump and Sticky Jump, there's courses and checkpoints, which is kind of the same as stages and checkpoints. Sorry, courses and checkpoints are stages and checkpoints, right? For courses and stages are basically the same, different terminology in different modes.
Yeah, pretty straightforward question. Yeah.
I guess we can move on to the next one.
Yep.
Will there be a cross mode play, e.g. a CG map available in Rocky Jump?
Yeah, we spoke about this a bit, but yeah, when you submit maps for Momentum with 010, you can select multiple leaderboards that you can suggest as a submitter. And then other people that are reviewing the map can also play the map in like any mode. And if they think it's good in that mode, they can suggest it. So they can do either review and say like it should be playable in this mode, like it should be ranked in this mode, or unranked but has a leaderboard still. So the we have the TP menu now. I didn't realize. I'm just using.
Yeah,
Facebook.
you have to. It's HUD_menu_show climb CP menu or
nice.
TP menu.
But yeah, so that stuff is the maps are kind of by their nature just multi-game mode now. Like maps don't have a single game mode that they're associated with. A leaderboard has a game mode, and maps have multiple leaderboards.
Yeah.
There's a few cases of stuff that just isn't allowed. Like you can never have a leaderboard in both Surf and bhop because Surf is just shitty bhop, basically. Like if you're on a bhop map, right? Like if you want to, and if you play a Surf map with bhop settings, you're just playing with like 100 tick higher air Excel Surf. And if we ever do that, it'll be a sub mode of Surf, not like bhop, right? It'll be really jank. So there's some stuff that's just like programmatically ruled out, but in most cases you can suggest leaderboards for different modes.
No.
No.
Moving obstacles. Well, once we have Rio's new save state system, that will not be a problem. It will save the rotating entity state with.
Yeah, you did the exact same thing as me. Yeah, that's funny.
I'm gonna just make a checkpoint here and then make one when I make it over there. Why is this an obstacle? Why do I have to wait? This is weird. All right.
Well, there's a lot of moving parts on this map. I don't remember there being that many.
All right, but so cross mode play, absolutely, we want to support that.
Rocket Jump and Sticky Jump is a good example, right? Of like lots of people want to play maps and those things. The other thing is you can have a map that's unranked. So unranked means like you don't get rank points for it in like overall rank points that like contribute that like accumulate in that game mode, but it can still have a leaderboard. So that's where something like we don't want people to like compete over times if they want to just get rank points. Like if you want to get the highest like rank points in a mode, you don't necessarily want to be like, you know, wall pogoing a sticky jump map, right? To like increase your rank points. So you can have a something that has a leaderboard but isn't giving you those overall rank points. So you can still compete for times on that map, but you don't gain anything in like the overall ranking system. And that means we can be a lot more like liberal with what stuff we do give leaderboards to, right? Because some stuff that's just plain silly, like if you want to play Surf Utopia in Rocket Jump, for instance, like that can have a leaderboard, which is not ranking.
And
we
then
also
there's
have hidden leaderboards, which is like a leaderboard that you can't even, it doesn't like show up in the map selector or anything, but if you do override your game mode and launch the map in that mode, unless a map is like programmatically ruled out, it will still have a leaderboard. So if you get a time on it will submit and you can like show it. It's just we're not gonna ever like suggest that someone like play a map in this mode like through the UI. Like we don't. So we'd probably do that with like Surf Utopia, right? Like if people are playing Rocket Jump, if we were to make Surf Utopia unranked in Rocket Jump, then no one's gonna look at the unranked maps in the map selector because it's all dumb maps like surf maps or whatever. But some people might be like, oh, I want to play Surf Utopia in Rocket Jump and compete with my friend or whatever, and so you can do that. Yeah, there's some stuff like KZ and Sticky Jump. That I think you would have a hidden leaderboard, but then Sticky Jump in KZ wouldn't have a leaderboard because
or the other way
it's
around.
never possible. A Sticky Jump map being played in KZ would not have any leaderboard.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even have a hidden leaderboard because there's no Sticky Jump map that you can beat in KZ or Surf or B-Hop, right? Nothing that doesn't have nothing. But say maybe like parkour you could, I guess, but like most stuff that doesn't have explosive boosts, you can't do. So yeah, if you want to triple the end of a climb map, like you can, but it'll be hidden. So we're never gonna like suggest other people like, yeah, try play this map, you know, because don't do that.
Oh. Okay, 64's work.
So that system is like a nice kind of compromise, like making. Yeah, AC. We've spoken quite a lot about AC. We could talk about AC a bit more at the end. I'll put that in the. We'll talk about yours at the end, Shark Deed. I like your username, Shark Deed.
Do we move on to the next question?
Yeah,
that was a good sentence. Good job.
I'm sorry. One of the reasons that I want to read the question is that I kind of want to improve my English. Anyway, how will maps be tiered from 1 to 10 or 1 to 6?
Tiered.
Yeah.
Tiered, yes, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We're still doing 1 to 10, right?
1 to 10, yeah. Maps will be 1 to 10. In the past, we were saying like, oh yeah, we're gonna do like everything in Surf that's currently a tier 6 stays tier 6 because we want to future-proof. And no, that's so dumb. Surf the current stuff will be to 8, right? There's some tier 8 Surf maps, so Surf will get stretched from 8 to 10 basically. And then something like it depends on the mispronunciation timing was good. So generally we want to future-proof a little bit, but not that much. That's just silly, right? So generally we want to stretch stuff out a little bit. I still think 12 would be better, but I don't really care. It's just numbers.
I think Rocket Jump might get a complete re-tiering.
Yeah.
We'll see, because like right now in Rocket Jump, there's almost no tier 1 maps. And I know some people say like, just make more easy tier 1 maps, but like nobody does that. Like if I made a map that was just a straight line and called it a surf map, and I said this is the easiest possible surf map, anything harder than this is tier 2, like that wouldn't make sense. But that's basically the situation Rocket Jump is in. Like nothing that is not trivial can possibly be ranked tier 1 Rocket Jump.
Well, not so much just trivial, but like there's not really any progression if you want to do that. Like if you're just saying that like, yeah, this map is just doing like single one rocket jumps up in the air, and that's the whole map. Like nobody's making that map, you know? Like
if a revolution happened overnight and mappers started making lots of tier 1 maps, like according to the current definition, then like that would be fine. But I just don't think that's going to happen. It's more useful to make use of that tier 1 space for a lot of the maps that we currently consider tier 2. Like even if like in theory there could be easier maps, like just the fact is that like no one's making those maps. There's Rush. That's it. That's the one. Well, no, there's like 2 other ones or something.
Does Beef end up as a tier 1 then?
Probably, yeah, because Beef is.
I feel like Beef could be a tier 2, maybe. I mean, you have to like. think. That's pretty hard. I don't know.
And then tier 6 is also, from what I understand, really crowded. I don't have very much experience with tier 6 maps, but I think people already informally kind of use like a pseudo tier 10 system. It's just not actually ranked that way on Tempest right now.
We should start talking about this quite soon, actually. I think it's like trying to go through different modes and just get community input on what we're doing for different thingies, like what we're retiering how. I think something like Surf we're pretty confident on. We've been talking about Surf quite a lot in these discussions. Like, well, basically tier 8s will be tier 10s. So we really are making a lot of room for those super high level ones in that case. But we're not going higher than 8 just because someone could make a... Like, we're not going to let, like, just the fact someone can do a B-hop map's just a bunch of fucking triangles, like, be... Or, you know, the spikes, whatever they are. That's... We're not going to...
Yeah, I think the only course on Jump Academy 2 that would count as tier 1 is probably like the basics course that was added in one of the recent map revisions. I think all the other easy courses you can make a case for like tier 2. Maybe the strafe course. I don't know. The strafe doesn't really have you do very much. That's probably tier 1. But everything else is like tier 2.
It is.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it's generic, baby.
Classic. All right.
Wait, it forces it and then it just doesn't have any lights.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I have a feeling that the retiering is going to be kind of a nightmare, though. There's going to be a lot of messages in Discord.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we do have 010 and that between 1.0 to kind of do that, you know? Like, we don't really care about what tier is what until then. Until 1.0, so... Also, note that, like, the rank system doesn't even take tiers into account.
Yeah, it's not like on... Well, I don't know if tiers make a difference on Tempest, but... For us, the actual rank system doesn't even consider tier at all. It's a dynamic
this is actually
based on how many people have like completed the map and stuff.
This is actually a back-end thing that I kind of meant to bring up today, but we'll probably talk about next Saturday, which is what should we call it? I've lost my train of thought completely. Fuck.
Like how we calculate ranks.
No, who can do map approval? Right now, it's only moderators on the back end, but we've talked before about having people that can map approve in specific stuff, and that requires changing the system a bit. A council, sure. And so I don't know exactly how we're going to do that, but like, trying to get some consensus on what tiers goes for what, and then having people that are like the kind of primary approvers of specific map game modes. That being said, some maps do have multiple game modes, but it's very rare that there's a map that's ranked in like completely different game modes, you know?
Right.
So, we do need to talk about that more at some point, but yeah, do that whenever. Well, actually, no, we should do that next week because I need to work on this soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, people that want to do the thing that's really helpful there, Foam Tomato, is reviewing, because there's going to be some stuff with maps where, like, for one, we're just checking for like pawn texture, stuff like that, where we're not expecting very much of that, and if someone's putting that in their map and submitting it, we probably would quite likely just ban them from map submission because we're telling them don't do this and it's there. But okay, but like other things like looking out for like very specific common issues with maps, like it's full bright where it shouldn't be, or like there's like really like the music is on the right side, or that kind of thing. That's something that is going to be really helpful, and having lots of people can do that. But also what you do is there's a role called map reviewer, and someone who's a map reviewer can make a map review that needs resolving. So the person that submitted the map can't... There's what's called final approval, which is when someone goes through and puts the final tier in and stuff. You can't put your map through to final approval. You can't say it's ready for final approval until every unresolved review's been resolved, if it's marked as requires resolving. So reviewers can make a review that needs resolving. So it's kind of like if you kind of got the authority to be like, yeah, this is just wrong. Like, it doesn't matter if some entity IO setup's a bit weird or whatever, but it's like if there's like just like plain buggy stuff, clearly like you spawn stuck into floor, that kind of thing, reviewers can be like, yeah, you got to fix this before it can even get approved. So I don't know what the system for OSU for verifying maps is, sorry. OSU is cool, and there's some similarities with our stuff in OSU, but I also don't play OSU because it's anime. God. Is it anime? I don't know.
It's mostly anime.
I only our ranking system. It kind of accounts for that. It's like a multi-part calculation that has different stuff in it. Very hard but popular maps you will still get a lot of points on for having like a good time.
Yeah, with the main issue right now is we don't show any ranking system stuff, and we do kind of have the algorithm working. So we'll quite soon after our 10 we'll start actually making the ranking stuff visible. That's kind of what we're doing, Master of. Yeah, you want the people that can be Master. Don't make me call you that. Essentially agree the map is good. Even if I was, yeah, that's basically it. It's just that what will happen more likely is if a map is really bad for like just gameplay reasons, but like it's the mapper's first map or whatever. What's more likely is it can still get added, but it will be added in this unranked state. So we're saying, if you're a good player and you're trying to get like a high like overall game mode rank, you don't need to worry about getting a good time on this map, right? Oh, we got Vintage in right now. Can we try Vintage out?
Vintage has been in for like a year and a half, but it's not in as a separate game mode.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
It's a bit awkward to, yeah.
Yeah, you can set Mom DF physics to 2 if you want.
Is this Funk Vehicle?
Funk Vehicle.
Yeah, isn't this right?
I think so. Yeah, this is the thing that you might get rid of with Lumper.
Oh yeah, button up top there.
We don't have Fun Vehicle, right?
Oh my god! No,
wait,
it's
we do?
Yeah, it works.
Do we actually? Wait, do we have Fun Vehicle? Do we support it?
I don't think so.
And then left click to fly it. That's so cool. This still works.
Oh,
maybe we do have it. Wow,
that's so cool.
That's the power of Strata.
Yeah. It might not be Funk Vehicle. This might be
Yeah.
No, this is what is it? Like the Half-Life thing. The user I forget what it's called.
With something like this, we wouldn't require some removed Lumper.
Imagine
I love the minigame maps. It was so good.
Imagine if something like this was used in Portal, like for solving the puzzles.
Yeah, right?
That would be
Imagine.
Cool. Anyway, next question.
Yeah, let's do the next question.
Okay, the next question is from Aup. Will there be an in-game native recorder for runs like SVR?
Eventually.
Yes. Oski on PDCE, he's been doing some really cool work in this area that might get us something like that. I think he was trying to get WebMs working specifically. We were saying it would be great if we just had FFmpeg built in. So that's something we really want. The thing we don't have yet, but may do, is SVR has this fancy like frame blending stuff, where SVR is really weird. They like pipe stuff out to like a DX11 shader, but it's done like outside the engine, and then do that for this frame blending, whatever. That would be really nice to have. It seems quite popular. Chaz was asking us if we could add that. I'm not quite sure how we do it with our setup. We could probably do it directly in game. I don't really understand shader stuff. Maybe Sears could do it. Yeah. So I'd love it if you could just give FFmpeg argument like in game and do rendering stuff through that. That'd be awesome. It's something we do care about a lot. It's just relatively low priority. That being said, with engine access, it gives us, we can do all sorts of fun stuff like this at a low level in the engine, and yeah. And I think us bundling FFmpeg not a big deal. I guess do you still have to like compile it separately for MP3 stuff when you can't like distribute the? I can't remember. I don't know if we're allowed to.
I thought MP3 was public now. The trademark.
Yeah, no, I think so.
Shoutouts to trademarking fucking formats. Let's go. Or was it patenting or something?
Yeah. I don't know much about audio formats, to be honest, but it would be great if we could get
We have support for OGG.
Yeah, the thing we still don't have is looping non-WAVs, and I'm not quite sure why that is, because we seem to be thinking we have to use like the crazy like cue points or whatever that aren't even in the proper WAV spec anyway, but that's what Source does.
Yeah.
But I don't know why we can't just like name a file in some specific way just to signify that it should repeat when it finishes or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
That would be really great to have, because that way, fucking Rody made a map, Go to Australia, which is in Momentum actually, that has a song in it, like a single like 3-minute Australian music, and it's 30 megabytes, and it's just a WAV. Like, and what we could do with Lumper is like make it do all that and like hook FFmpeg or whatever to like auto convert everything and like update all the reference to it. That could be a job if we wanted to do that.
That would actually
Probably
be really good
overkill,
because
but-
other than cube maps, right? Like cube maps and really high quality custom textures and models, sound is the biggest culprit for file size.
Well, it's mainly textures. I mean, sound's not super bad, but yeah, no, it is true that in some cases, like the WAVs are just silly. Like, I don't think do WAVs have any compression to them? Or are they just like raw? No. And so even something like FLAC, right, can get a lot lower than WAV because it still has a lossless compression.
Yeah.
But I mean, for something like Source, like the sound system's dog shit anyway. Just compress it. Come on now. In fact, what I'd love would be to just have in our map porting guideline like a suggestion for like MP3 conversion stuff. Shout out to any what CD is, but like MP3 V2, and just that could be the standard that we recommend because like you don't need like V0 preset right for an MP3. Like it's
right.
V2 would be fine for Source. Like you're never going to notice the difference really. But Lumper could in theory do that, and we could even I don't think we'd want to ship FFmpeg though, but like including with lame. But anyway, yeah, we're kind of going off topic here, but
we can go to the next question. But yeah, we will have native run recording. Steam also just updated with a new feature for game recording. We will also be looking into hooking into like when you set PBs
that's
and
very
stuff
easy
for that.
to do. Yeah.
Super easy. It's like 2 API calls, right, to start the run and end the run and stuff like that. So absolutely, we can look into supporting that feature, and then if you'd like to do that, you could record that. But we will also have like in-game run, like publish, like run recording, like really nice frame blending and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
Next question.
Next question. And did we want to go to the next map or back to the main client?
Yeah. What should we play?
We did get a play
Yeah.
defrag with some points. So
Should we go back to main client and play some of the new defrag maps we added?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Aup also asked, will every single surf map be added or only popular ones?
Not absolutely.
We're only adding 10 surf maps.
One map
opening up the playtest, but then
no.
2 maps is the best we can do. I believe Tom was starting to say it. Not every possible BSP ever made ever, but likely every map that makes sense and would fit, like, because we have the idea of unranked leaderboards, right? Sorry, let me get Momentum back up and running so I can just spec while talking. Wait, I'm gonna have to delete the map browser stuff. There was somebody saying that there was a crash. Yeah, the cache, I think. So let me do that really quick too. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, there's the idea of unranked leaderboards, which absolutely, the unranked tab in the map selector can definitely be. Wait, why is 0930s so small? What the fuck?
It's my fault. It's
so funny.
It's a really stupid reason. I was doing something using that script in our thingy. And I accidentally like screwed with the CSS. So it's back to normal now. But
quick, post 2 more updates. Get rid of it.
No, those
the right clicking's not working for.
Are you on a different pano different now? Well, I can't wait till we actually get rid of that shit.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Again, the people joining late and asking about progress, we've already spoken about that. Sorry. Just have to go back in the VOD. We can't.
Yeah, the VOD previously in the VOD, we talk a ton about it. So make sure that you catch the VOD. I think Twitch currently has the VOD right now. You can go back and rewatch that, but it's super informative on it. That'll answer it. But it is, we are getting closer to 1.0 every single week. Like it's amazing how much progress we're making. But again, no deadline until we're about a couple weeks out from 1.0, and our main focus right now is 0.10. So, cool. Which new map should we try? Tenuous or Dorado?
Which one looks coolest from the pictures? Your choice.
Yeah.
Bull Highway. I'm gonna do Bull Highway.
You still have CL Mirror World. Just saying.
Wait,
is there another one?
I guess so.
Surely it doesn't stay on.
Oh, that was for me.
I think you gotta.
Yeah. Oh, it's a ball map. I like these guys. This guy's map. Good.
Just another note on this question
Thank you,
as
Zach.
well.
Yeah.
We're gonna be respecting like mappers' wishes. So if they don't want their maps in our game, we're not gonna host them.
Oh, of course.
Don't know
Yeah,
why
yeah.
anyone wouldn't want their maps in our game, but you know, if someone decides they don't, we'll respect that. So their maps won't appear. You know how some servers have maps that they only allow on their server, kind of thing.
Yeah, it is very important that we make sure mappers are like comfortable with the content that's in our game. Oh, you can like boost off that. I was expecting it to be like XC Galaxy and just lift me over
It
here.
wouldn't surprise me if some of the mappers of like the Jip Academy maps wouldn't want their maps on Momentum Mod.
Yeah, and that's fair. I mean, we have the learn section anyway, but like, yeah, I would like to support communities too, in the sense that like, yeah, with Jump Academy and them like having their dedicated lobbies and stuff, and like still allowing people to educate how to do these modes like in person, like via voice chat and stuff that we'll have as well. Yeah, but we will, I mean, the goal is to preserve as much as possible. I think it would still be beneficial to have like, I don't know, maybe even like a torrent of every single map that we have. Oh, you can't update torrents, can you? It would be very nice to have like a giant archive of maps that isn't, you know, just kind of getting it decentralized, so that we have, you know, multiple avenues of getting like the BSPs that we host, not just our R2 bucket or, you know, our backend. So
Yeah. It's just like
it'd be very, very cool to look into like alternative like archiving.
but what, an archive? The more than one massive archive, or
Yeah.
yeah. That sounds like a very large
Damn
file,
it. Missed the jump.
rather unwieldy.
Yeah, of course.
It can't
Oh,
be
no,
larger
torrents.
than like 4K Dragon Ball full like series.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
the main
no,
thing is just going to be like hosting, yeah, like a torrent or something.
I don't
Like,
think torrents are a good way to do it. Like you say, they can't be updated, and then you just have to constantly be. You don't want to use torrents for something where they're getting like out of date regularly, because then everyone
yeah,
has to
that's
download
true.
it again just to reseed it.
Yeah, that's true.
You just end up.
I've been watching far too much Elden Ring, and every time one of you said torrent, my brain
Yeah,
just
I was
turned
going to
off.
think about that. Yeah, like the magic dog from that game.
Do we move on the next question?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Yeah, we could do our own tracker.
I'll also ask, will there
How?
be will there be prestrafe tutorials for surf or only strictly surf basics?
What? Yeah, learn will have all sorts of stuff like that. I'd really like. I don't fucking understand how you pre-strafe and stuff. Someone was trying to teach me the other day. It'd be good to have
Pre-strafe
stuff like that.
Pre-strafe has lost all meaning to me. I don't even know what that word means anymore.
It's just you just strafe at the beginning and you go a bit faster. Learn stuff we're going to work on way more after 10. It's been too disorganized up till now, where we kind of like. So some mappers have done like a good job of stuff, but we kind of need to sort of centralize a bit more and just make sure we're actually making progress on it. I also just think this is my hot take with Learn. Why do we make the section so short? If you're doing a section teaching a specific thing, have multiple copies of the same thing that get a bit harder. You don't just give them like, yeah, this is a surf ramp. This is how you do a curved surf ramp, and you give them one curved surf ramp. Give them a bunch, and then you just progress, and then you do it a bunch of times. Right now, it's like everything's too small. It's like, oh yeah, I'm not going to learn how to do a basic sticky jump by just having one basic sticky jump. Give me an easy one, then a hard one, then a harder one, and
I think it's worth questioning the pedagogy a little bit of what we've been doing so far, because I think the original idea was like not really to even be a tutorial, more to be a gallery of techniques. I think, which
I think
is a questionable use.
Because that's not how playing these modes work. It's not just applying one technique at a time. Or like in some modes it is a little bit, but it's also you want to be just doing them a lot and just like having a good playground and stuff. And then easy ways to like refer back to some things. Like that's more helpful, I think, than like just one technique that you just do over and over. Or like at least if you are going to do it over and over, like have a progression of it and have an easy and a hard version. But also like we're not we've been doing a little bit about teaching basic strafe, but we've not done enough of it. We have some good work there, but yeah. The 10 for campaign to be the real tutorial, I think we should completely forget about, because the campaign's not coming out for a very long time and we care about 1.0. So I think we should literally refuse to say, make any concessions to stuff like, oh yeah, well, don't worry about this, it's going to be in the campaign. Like, I think that's banned. I think that should be the policy after 010 when we start working on Learn. Like, no, irrelevant. It's just, who cares? The campaign's not coming out for ages. And the game's coming out.
Maybe our Learn section should be something more like a Jump Academy map.
I've not played Jump Academy, to be honest.
It's kind of what you're talking about. There's different courses that focus on specific techniques. It'll introduce something and they'll kind of build it up.
Yeah. It's not just about, just teaching how you do a technique, but it's just giving you places to learn and that. So I agree linguistically, like having we have an idea of like recommended maps, right, to go and play this thing. That being said, like, if you are teaching like the very basics of surf, right, but one, you just need to give people a ton of really, really easy ramps to just play around on and get a feel for it. Not give them like, or at least have like progression and just more of it. Right now, like if you go in the Learn section, I think there's like, it's just not enough of any one section. And if you want to incentivize players to like improve at stuff, so they like actually get like a decent understanding of like the basics of just how to move on a surf ramp, you need to give them a big load of surf ramps to play around with. And then if it means that it takes like a minute to complete the whole thing, and it's boring for someone who already knows how to surf, who cares? It's not designed for people to know how to surf or speedrunning it. It's designed for babies, you know?
Yeah. That's fair.
So I think, and I think we should like basic strafe trainer stuff, like the stuff Ninja Cookie was doing as a portal and things.
Yeah.
That we should work way more on that and really focus on drilling like the super basic mechanic.
Yeah.
But also like that kind of system with portals where you can just do it for as long as you like, I think is great. Because there's a certain thing of like, if you just let someone get to the end once and they've beaten it, like that's not really how you like, it's part of the way you improve. But it's still, I feel like we should give more opportunity to just grind it till you feel really comfortable with the mechanic on its own. So like repeating portal stuff and whatnot, I think we can do way more of. I'm being very opinionated here, but I do think like our current Learn stuff is just kind of lacking in that it's not, it just feels too little of everything, and it doesn't feel like it kind of really adds up to anything.
That's fair.
But also we do need to do all the kind of in-game fun stuff and also get like consistent styling of all the stuff, and like there's some stuff like in Surf and B-Hop, like strafing, the basics of strafing in those modes is basically the same, right? Teaching people just how to like turn in the air where you know, turn left as you're holding A and turn right as you're holding D. Some people don't even get the basics of that, right? And I think like we need to do that kind of really basic thing that's kind of universal, not universal, but like applies somewhat to every mode. And anyway, I'm rambling, but
Connect, you should set Mon MV DF physics to 2.
oh yeah,
Cheats.
We have a really important question in the chat.
Oh, I'm not no 10.
That's okay.
I swapped back. Is it
No,
still
it's in,
MomDF?
Yeah. It's Mon.
What is it again?
DF.
Sorry.
I put it in chat. That's
Is this the one
mode.
that always asserts when I Oh wait, what is the normal one? Okay, I was on CPM.
MomDF physics? It's
MVDF physics.
Oh.
It's a move bar now.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
It used to be.
It doesn't have auto hop. Oh, I want
You
auto
can
Three
turn
or
it
two?
on.
Sorry.
2.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
And now
no.
strafe like it's Half-Life.
Okay. Oh, yeah, there's no
Yeah, like you say, Relort, like it's so just AD strafing, like basics of that. Like I think we should just
be. Yeah, this is cool.
Can I just say one other thing with Learn stuff? Could I just get to before we move on?
Yeah, go for it.
Like right now we don't have anyone for A hop, and we have some people that have been working like B hop and sticky jump and stuff. But like, aren't you working like 3 different modes, Matt? Like, I lose track of all the different.
No, I was mainly just working on defrag. I made very small amounts of RJ, but it was terrible, so it's not worth keeping around.
If people are cool with it, like opening up some of the Learn dev more to people that aren't currently on the team, maybe bring them on the team, especially for A hop where we just don't have anyone. But also Ninja's not around for B hop anymore. So I don't know how much XB and Granis are going to be about. It'd be great to keep them around and get more out of them, but I think we should be like willing to bring new people on if we don't have people that have time for stuff. Which is not we don't have anything against anyone that doesn't have time for working on Learn, right, for the current team. But like if that is the case, we just want to work with the reality of that and get some more people. And it'd be nice to bring some new people on board. It's always fun.
Yeah.
People on.
Yeah.
As long as they're toxic like us.
Nick, we have a really important question from the chat.
Yeah, what's
Can
up?
we get a Go Cat stream?
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
Is that like a
Is,
currency?
is Walter walking around back there? Or yeah, I don't actually know where Walter is. Walter is my cat now of was it almost 3 months? Over 3 months, yeah. Oh, is he over there? Is he in the closet? Hold on, let me go see if I can find him.
He is gay. Can you get gay cats? Maybe.
Okay, he is currently taking a very, very pog cat nap in my laundry basket, so I'm gonna respect that and let him do that. But yeah, eventually I'd love to have Walter make an appearance on the on the Q&A. He was trying to jump up onto my desk while I was like in the middle of talking about
lions are
the.
gay.
What was that?
You get the gay lions.
Sorry, what was that? Or oh,
You can. There's gay lions. Do you know that?
I did not know that. Walter's probably one of
Yeah.
them. But yeah, it's
Okay, let's move.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Walter's is a great cat.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
we can move on to the
Excellent.
next.
Yeah,
next
next
question. There we go.
The
wish there was
next
a hotkey for this.
question. Will there be a special roles for the people who are YouTubers, mappers, etc. in the game?
Yeah.
YouTubers probably not.
We've still got verified.
Yeah.
Which I'm not sure what it's actually for, but yeah.
So verified is just for verifying that the person that is on the leaderboard is this actual person. That's usually for famous people, famous runners, YouTubers. I guess if they're big enough, we could give them that. But
yeah, it's not. That's not an excuse for like random YouTubers with like 2 subscribers or what is it?
Yeah.
I got a guy the other day that was like, "Hi, I'm. Can I get a key for Momentum? I want to start making surf videos. I made Roblox videos 2 years ago, and I have like 10,000 subscribers. Okay,
Gotta
but that's
start
because you did
somewhere.
one
Yeah.
Roblox video that got a bunch of views for some reason. Not that doesn't get you verified, soz. But also,
Right.
what we're planning on doing is, whilst we are going to have a verification system at first, right, where if you're a good player, we verify you. What we're then going to do is make it so you can pay to get the verified status, and that will make it so your runs are easy to see.
You'll also be able to post longer chat messages, so you can talk to all your friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, but also we're hoping that what that then means is the people that are currently verified get really annoyed by that, and then have to make a big thing about saying, "Oh, I didn't actually pay for this. I'm not that embarrassing." Like, don't think
Yeah,
of me
for those of you who
badly.
aren't in the know, this is a reference to Reddit.
Yeah, thanks for the Reddit gold, epic friend, whatever they fucking say, losers. No, I'm talking about old Muskie, obviously. Yeah, private paid. Yeah. If you pay, we won't let people report your chat messages. The whole thing
And
with
we'll
the chat
promote them.
messages,
We'll
I
actually
think-
send them to everybody in every lobby. Actually,
I do think the funniest thing about the encrypted chat system or the cryptographic chat system would be if we ever wanted to permanently mute someone, all we have to do is just change like the public key by like a single character. And no one would ever be able to decrypt their messages. So
that's true. Yeah.
it's a really funny, stupid way to ban someone.
Oh, I was just
Public
gonna say we could have like a key list of like what you should ban. I don't know. Well, in that point, it's we're also going to have probably a name list of like soft ban and or like mute, auto mute, right?
What a specific? What? Yeah, I mean, we'll have a thing of the ban system will work. I'm just thinking it's a really silly way that you could ban someone chatting would be to just deliberately get their private and public keys wrong, so that you can just never decrypt it. Like no one can understand what this person's saying.
Yeah,
You change it in the DB.
that's
Anyway,
true. Yeah.
World Record holder only. Yeah, Reddit gold only.
I can only see roles for like YouTubers in the Discord at maximum. Like I'm not sure about in game
No,
stuff.
seriously, the verify system's like okay, and we can definitely use that. Like, if you do
That'd
want to
be
say like,
nice.
okay, this person is actually this
Percent.
YouTuber, right? They can be just marked as verified on the backend. We already have all this. This is the old backend, and I pulled it all that over. I wasn't quite sure what it was for at the time, but Nick has since explained it to me, and I think it's a reasonable system. Mappers and porters, they have a separate role anyway. Like if you're a mapper,
Yeah.
porters and mappers are different roles. So if you submit a map there's a port, you get the porter role, and if you submit a map that's a original, you get the mapper role. And then there's also the map reviewer role. I'd like to have stats for that, like you can compete over who's done the most reviews and stuff. Be able to like break down who's been like. We also show that like any map that you submit to Momentum like shows up on your Momentum profile and stuff. But yeah, the special roles, like I don't know how much we'll actually do with them, but yeah, they show up in game, and we could even have them on the. We could show them in lobbies if we want. Once we do the new system. Right now we can't very well without doing a bunch of extra weird requests, but in the future, with we'll probably have a system that basically gives us a kind of copy of like a Steam lobby. Not exactly, but like when you join a Steam lobby, we'll kind of mark that as you being in a Steam lobby in our backend because we're going to have more of a kind of live service system, and that will let us look very quickly and performantly at like the other people in your lobby and get data about them without sending a bunch of random fucking HTTP requests like once a second or 10 times a second or whatever silly stuff. So showing metadata about a player that's stored by us, not by Steam, will get a lot easier in the future, and that's something I'm really excited for because I want people to know that I've got Reddit gold.
But yeah, it'd be cool for mappers to have like, oh, this is the mapper or author time on the leaderboard. That'd be nice to like kind of highlight.
We could do that actually. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
That's actually
like
a really
that
good
might
shout,
be
really
a nice highlight. But like if you are just a mapper, I don't know. We have profile cards that'll also show up when you hover over someone, so that'll show up there. We'll see if we have enough room for socials as well, so you could link your YouTube there. But like,
socials will be in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can put your LinkedIn on your Momentum profile.
Yeah, I hope to connect with all of you after it launches.
I really like. It was easy to do, and so we added LinkedIn. No, author times we could totally do that. That's actually a good shout. If someone wants to make like a GitHub issue for that, I think that's a genuinely like a good thing. I got lockshore from eating pasta out of a dog bowl, and my wife will be here in 3 hours to marry me. Help me, GitHub. Sorry, that's GitHub, not
Good old
LinkedIn.
drill.
I'm sure there's. Oh no, yeah, there's a really good drill tweet with LinkedIn in it, but I won't play it because it's too stupid.
So that's all of the questions in the presentation we have. So if you wanna ask question, do it in chat or in our Discord. We actually have 2 questionnaire on our Q&A live channels.
Yeah.
The first one, which bug is the best?
Wait, what are we looking at?
Which bug
Q&A.
is best? Yeah, Q&A.
Oh
Q&A
yeah,
live.
which bug?
I kinda wanna answer that. I recently saw the mole cricket. I know they're bad, but I kinda like it just because of how it looks. It's a crab. Like if you Google the mole cricket, it's just like crab. It's weird.
A crab? Did you say?
Yeah, like crab.
Everything's a crab. Like nature loves to evolve crabs. There's like 4 different types of crabs that all have completely different origins, right? Crabs are great.
Quite like those emerald bees that you see people post photos of. Those are cool.
I would say the humble honeybee is brilliant.
Yeah.
Honeybees are just baffling. Like the like the social structures of bee hives. What do you call it? Just there's hives and swarms and whatever. They're
colony.
bees
Do they do
and,
colonies?
Like, colonies. Yeah, I think colonies, right? Like bee swarms and the waggle dance and all that stuff. If you want to have a good time just reading Wikipedia, just read up on honeybee behavior. And there's okay, I've got to say this because this is my favorite thing about bees ever. Which I think this is. I don't think this experiment has ever been replicated, partly because it's considered, I think, a bit unethical. It was done in like the 80s. But supposedly, if you take a bee, you row out into the middle of a lake, okay, and you put a jar of like sugar water, which bees love and they get excited about, right? It's just water with sugar in. And then you release the bee on like the boat and let it like drink the sugar water. The bee will then fly back to its colony. And bees have this thing called the waggle dance, which is a sort of little flying pattern they do to show you.
I
This is
remember you talking
remarkable
about
as a
this.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the waggle dance is like it's a way of saying the direction, like by just angle from some like the sun or whatever, or like north. I don't know quite what it is. And the direction it's in, and then the distance to it. So it's giving like a kind of, what is the term in mathematics? The opposite of like Cartesian. Well, not the opposite, but like there's Cartesian and then Polar, yeah, sorry, yeah, it's like a polar like vector or whatever, like it's a direction and distance in polar system where and they communicate that by, I can't remember, they move in a certain way and then the speed at which they move or something. I'm forgetting the specifics, but look it up, it's fascinating. But what they'll do is they use this to communicate when swarming, which is when bees kind of, the hive separates into two and they want to start a new hive, which happened to me. Well, not, I wasn't in it, but like they stopped in our garden when bees swarm. They get really fat on whatchamacallit, honey, and then they go off with a big swarm and then they settle in like a tree or somewhere, which happened to be in my garden. And a bunch of scout bees go off and then they fly off and they find like potential places for new hive. And then they come back and they do the waggle dance, like point, like to describe like where the new thing is. And the more excited they do the dance, like the more the bees consider that place. And there's a lot of research on this, and it's a really bafflingly like complex and remarkable. Like this is bugs, right? Bugs, bees, and they do this like decision making as a group, and this complex decision making using like quite advanced communication. It's baffling as a thing.
We might start to adopt the dancing for the map submission.
Yeah. We'll waggle them.
Yeah, if we waggle a lot on it.
But okay, but this is the thing that is so funny, and I'm not quite sure the like veracity of this experiment. Like, look it up. I think there's been one experiment done on it, and I don't think it's been replicated. But if you put a bee in the middle of a lake with some sugar water and let it fly back to the colony, it does the waggle dance to the other bees. But then the other bees are supposedly incredulous of this and don't follow the bee back to where it said the thing was, because they know that it's the middle of a lake, that's where it's signifying that it's pointing to, and they're like, dickhead, that's a lake. And think of the kind of reasoning that kind of has to be going on there in just a simple honeybee. That is baffling. And again, I'm not quite sure the experiment. I think it was a published paper, but I don't think it's been replicated. But there's I think quite a lot of research done quite recently, because I've heard some people in like cognitive science and have been kind of changing their minds about the intelligence of insects, partly based on honeybees. I think that's quite recent, but I don't know specifics of that. But I just think, yeah, honeybees are really like fascinating in that they're so sort of cognitively sharp. It seems that like it's amazing that they're kind of changing how we think about insect intelligence. So I don't know this stuff very well, but I just think isn't that so funny, the idea that they'll like be incredulous about that and have that kind of reasoning capacity? That's really, really odd. Yeah. But also, yeah, bees and bee swarming are fascinating. We had to get a beekeeper guy who came round. He came round, got with a big box with his bee suit, and climbed this tree in our garden and like knocked the bees in the box to get the queen in, right? Because if the queen's in there, then most of the other bees will come in. And then you just let them sit around for like half an hour. I gave the bloke a couple of chili plants of ours when he was around. This was last year. He was a lovely bloke. But then what he did was he phoned up the person that was on a wait list to start a beehive. And he rang them up and said, "Hey, I've got a swarm here. I can come round in the next hour if you've got your hive ready." So this was someone who signed up with the local beekeeping society, or whatever they're called, club, and like had gone through all this setup and like learned basic beekeeping stuff and got a hive set up, and were then waiting for just a regular like live bee swarm, just wild bees, whatever, for them to find a swarm and settle somewhere. and the bees would happily like take this hive, right? Because they recognize like the hive's a good environment. So I just think that's the funniest thing. This guy was round in our garden, like phoning these people that were just the next on the list for getting some bees. I just absolutely love that. Yeah, well.
What I think is funny is how we interpreted this question as talking about like insects and not.
Yeah.
That's where I was about to go to.
Yeah.
No,
I could talk about
actually,
insects for a long time.
the person who asked the question did clarify that it was about an actual box. So
Okay,
it's good. And the other question, did you want to say something, Coke?
No, I was just like surprised by the map. Sorry.
The next question we had: how long did it take a collaborative effort of every single team member to solve that common key crossword?
I actually
Oh,
solved it.
classic.
I actually solved it in about 30 seconds, but then I let the rest of them figure it out on their own.
Yeah.
very, very, very kind of you.
Yeah, I actually solved it in 25, but yeah, I just wanted Lumia to feel better about it. No. Yeah, I didn't even know. It was like this morning, right? I woke up and had to start the red meeting. I was like, oh, there's like a key puzzle thing or a key crossword.
Woke up this morning.
Yeah, I was there when the puzzle was finished.
Ease around my head.
Gotcha.
Didn't contribute.
Yeah, I joined in when it was halfway done, and then it still seemed to take about half an hour, so it was an uphill struggle.
I don't even know what we
Hey,
were
what's up,
talking
Pharaoh?
about.
Or wait, Proculus, sorry.
We also have question from chat.
I eat pears
we were
now and shit
talking
like
about-
that. Shout out to all the pear.
I love that sound.
I love that video. Jesus.
Such a fun.
We were talking about proximity voice chat a few Q&As ago. What if we can leave emote notes?
Oh, sorry for marking down like an emote to know what like questions being asked and stuff. Or
no, I guess.
Assume they mean like Elden Ring notes that you put down on floors that other players can interact with.
Yeah, probably.
Gotcha. I don't know. I mean, the more that we add, yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah. I just don't know what the notes would add to a specific map. With Elden Ring, it's like an open world that you're exploring. With maps, you kind of do that for a bit, but you could also just watch a replay and know where to go. Especially a map showcase replay, which is coming down the line. But like I like asynchronous community aspects like that. But with notes specifically, that's another avenue of moderation. And then what it would actually like add other than just being controlled.
Stuff. I mean, I do love the way that because there's like a set number of words you can use and that stuff. That, like,
that's right. Yeah, pre-made. Like,
yeah. But I think like I felt that the stuff on the floor worked way better in Elden Ring than the more linear FromSoft games, where they're kind of fun in the FromSoft games, like the stuff people say outside of like boss rooms, but a lot of the time they're just a bit like something like Momentum. Everything's too linear and it's not like open enough to really make much sense and do that. But also like, yeah, I don't know. I think in Elden Ring, like all the online stuff works so much better than the previous FromSoft game. Especially the dogs, the turtles.
They meant emote notes. I don't know how emote notes. I don't
know what they are.
I don't know what this is.
I just interpreted it as like the things in Elden Ring, but
yeah, okay. I think we should add the turtles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have notes where the only word is dog.
Yeah. Dog.
I gotta say, defrag does feel a lot better with auto jump, but that's just my bunny hop brain and stuff. It feels good. It
This is a
feels
fun
good. I'm not saying it is good or it's the way it should be. I'm just saying that I'm very much enjoying the mode a lot with auto up.
We're gonna have to scrub this from the VOD.
Oh, true, yeah. But
It is unfortunate, but I think defrag is so much better with auto hop. Like,
it's very
it's a
fun.
skill-based mechanic. Like, it adds skill having to do the jump thing. Yeah, but so does like any random thing. That doesn't mean it's like a good skill. It's just it's so much more fun with.
You're all
like,
wrong, and I'm muting you forever.
I get that, I get why people think it's just a really. It just makes it much less fun playing when you have to like do the jumpy thing. And every time you play with auto hop, it's like, oh my god, this is like a chill breeze. Like it's so nice.
Oh, what? Oh, okay. I think it was because I was strafing into the wall there.
It's the dog world. Yeah, we should have the dogs back. Yeah, I'm sure I could get more used to it, but it's like I still find that even though I do get used to playing defrag with the space jumps, like anytime I use auto hop, I'm like, oh my god, this is so much nicer.
Yeah.
Like it's like
That's
you know?
because your brain is small. You cannot comprehend the
That's the
space bar.
thing, is it's not like a complicated thing, it's just unpleasant to do. I'm not saying that like I can't learn how to do it or do it. I'm just saying that I don't think it's a mechanic that makes the mode more fun, or I think the mode like there's other ways to add nuance to a mode than something that requires like key press timing like that.
That was sick.
Just solves.
See, for me, I've played it enough that I don't have to think about it, and so it becomes literally just.
I guess.
Do better.
Hold
Like,
on. And
We have
yet, Tom is against plus strafe.
Oh my
Thinking.
Wait,
All right,
what?
this Q&A is going to go on for another 3 hours.
Not 3 hours.
we
How does-
No, I don't know. I think
Plus
when you
strafe
play
makes the game
defrag-
easier. It's
when you
less
play
timing
defrag
button presses.
enough, when you play defrag
Yeah.
enough, you just subconsciously do the jump timing. Like you don't need to think about it. You
Yeah.
just haven't played the mode enough.
Yeah, I think so. Like there might be a point where I start to find it less annoying. But it's still a thing of like then if whenever I do play it with auto hop on, and when I play like Diabolical and stuff, like I just find I do just find it more enjoyable. Even if even though I think I've gotten better at playing defrag with the strafe mechanic, I still find that like yeah, I'm not saying that like something like plus strafe, like I think I'm not trying to make it like any kind of like objective claim about this. Like I can just fully understand why some people are like used to it. With something like plus strafe, I do think it kind of somewhat like removes from the mode in some places. So in some cases it's fine, and I don't really like care that much. But like I don't know. I just find
The other thing is that if you're comparing Momentum Mod or Quake 3 Defrag to something like Diabolical, part of the reason that Auto Hop will feel better in Diabolical or Xenotic is because those games don't have the strafe penalty when holding jump. So you're going to go faster when you're using Auto. Oh, and no steps.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're going to go faster in those games. So you have to
easier.
like cancel that out.
Yeah.
And it's not just because of the auto hop; it's because of the other strafe mechanics in those games.
Yeah, but for sure. But I've also played Momentum a fair bit with the auto hop on. Not that much. It's been a while, but like I have done it, and I just found that doing that, like, I don't know. It's just I just don't find that like the whole strafe like place mechanic. Like even as I get better at it, I still find it kind of like it still just feels like a bit of a chore to do. So I'm sure I'd get more used to it in the future, and I'm not proposing that we add auto hop to defrag by any means. I just do think it's not. I think it's valid to accept that some people do just enjoy the game mode more when it's got auto hop. Yeah, they might play it a bunch and get used to it, but yeah, it's still. I do think it will be frustrating. It's frustrating to me, and I think it'll be frustrating for a lot of other players from Source and being used to auto hop coming into defrag. And I think that's something we just have to accept. But that's how it is.
There was an interesting question in chat. Sorry to interrupt. Master 64 asked, "Wonder how secure this project will be against RCAs, especially if local server hosting will be the norm, especially given the age of the engine.
Well, we don't server hosting. We're not hosting a full-on like Source dedicated server. Our lobby system, like, there's a relatively small number of like messages we send across, right, using the lobby system. So there's very little that we're, I guess, with something like SRCDS, you get way way more stuff getting sent over, right?
Yeah. And it's in combination with like our cosmetics being in a store that you would then use, units to buy, and then that way you're not sending file paths and just raw binary data between each other.
Yeah. We never give you any chance to send that, right? In the game, I don't know how much validation we have on data. Do we get that automatically or something, like from protobuf or whatever we're using for like if one message sent from like one lobby client to another, do we check that like the message is of the right form? Or I don't know how that stuff is.
Yeah. I think. Oh yeah, Slidey did move us over to Proto, huh?
Yeah,
it's been so fucking long.
Yeah, we've not a lot of our multiplayer stuff. This is something that's actually not on the. We talked about roaming lobby and stuff in like the kind of preliminary, unfinished, like post O10 milestone stuff. But yeah, we'd like to spend some more time thinking about multiplayer and getting a lot of our lobby stuff cleaned up. I think some of the work Rio's doing is going to work a lot better there because it means you get less spaghetti between like, C base player, C mom player, and mom ghost or whatever it fucking is. I think Rio's been giving that quite a lot of thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing, Al. Like you can say, "Oh, we'll get over it" or whatever. It's just true. I think defrag's more fun with Zold or Hup, and I think that's the case for loads of Source players. So it's just
it wasn't. Yeah, like, I wasn't hinting at.
You can tell me to get over it all the time. I'm not proposing changing anything. I'm just saying that I think it's gonna make defrag less appealing for a lot of Source people. It makes me want to play defrag less. Soz. But with what capacity is there for some kind of RCE with our current system? I'm not good with security stuff. Like I never know with this. Like
I don't know. I mean, just how things are. If we're using protobuf, that's pretty much secure as is for messages, and then we're not being dumb with like, oh yeah, let's allow arbitrary binary blob to be executed on everyone's computer for sprays or something, right? Like our cosmetics will be more streamlined, and you literally just set integers, right, of like what you have, and then you have that content locally anyway, and then we just render that. So yeah, it's I mean, as long as we just don't ever, I guess, go back on those ideas of like, oh, maybe we should allow people to just send an arbitrary blob or something. If we ever do that, yeah. But right now it's like you're just sending a bunch of numbers to everyone. Yeah. Like, and the only time that could fail is if there's some catastrophic logic in the game where we already are like checking to see if they're valid like values for like your position and speed and stuff like that. So that's inherently going to be in it. So I mean there's unless there's some like weird RCE in protobuf.
If you want to have entirely possible that like even if protobuf parses the messages properly, like you could still probably send something that ends up being malformed in a weird way.
Yeah.
Like I would not be confident in saying that we're like any more secure than any other piece of software that you use with networking capability. It's like it's not like we've actually done any like security hardening or anything.
Yeah, but
I don't know what we get from Steam lobbies. Like maybe Steam does some extra validation and stuff, but like I don't know. It's one of those things where like you can only prove the existence of flaws. You can't really prove the absence of them.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't think it's reasonable to say that. Why would it be just because it has networking involved? There's like a complete. There's still a different like scale of like vulnerabilities that different applications have, right? Regardless, just saying that because they've all got networking involved, like because like there's relatively few points of like vulnerability with a system like ours, right? Like I guess something of like if you're just sending overly large packets of data that end up reading into random bits of memory or something, or like what is like if the data itself is getting validated and is only like you have to find flaws in like the validation or like the parser or something, right? That's gonna like the vulnerability would have to be there, right? Not in the like execution of it, because if it is just some random like if you're I don't know, like I'm not a security person, but there's surely there has to be like a very.
This is kind of what we were talking about with how none of us know anything about client, none of us know anything about security, and that's why I'm not really comfortable about saying like anything is secure at all. Like
Yeah.
I would say like I would assume the presence of security problems that we just don't know about, rather than assume that we don't, or feel like have any kind of confidence at all, like, oh, just because we're not a server or just because we're not like passing binaries around means that we're like relatively safe. Because all it takes is one little tiny problem, and yeah, you can still get completely pwned that way. So it's very rarely like, oh, it's only slightly broken. A lot of times it's either safe or it's completely busted.
Yeah, but it's still. I'm still sort of like I'm not in any way claiming that this stuff is like watertight. It's just it still feels like you can still kind of hone in on like the possible places where the vulnerability would be, and like there's not.
Which would probably
like,
be our website more than anything. Like I'm sure
Our
that's where a lot of
website,
people.
yeah, and also our website stuff's open source. I mean, you can be looking at the packets that we're sending from game stuff, and I'm sure figure out a lot of what's going on. But with that stuff, like that's going to be more about finding specific issues with like areas of our logic, which I think we've been relatively good on. But that's somewhere, yeah, I kind of know more about that system, so I'm kind of more wary of saying that I'm confident in it being completely secure, because I can. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing where like actually keeping up to date with security issues in our dependencies is going to be really important. Right now we're ignoring Dependabot on GitHub on the website repo. We'll stop doing that soon. And also people can see that. They can see if we've got a like Dependabot issue saying that we've got a vulnerability here, and like
Well, the problem with having such a big like framework and stuff is like, where exactly is Angular using this like really obscure like thing that
I mean Angular's never going to be an issue, right? Besides
yeah.
I guess in cases of trying to find like malicious stuff you could do with like an admin account or doing, but there's going to be relatively little there, I'd want to say.
There's some questions we have in the chat.
No, it wasn't charged enough.
When do you guys think will be the best time to make YouTube content about this game?
When assets are finalized.
Yeah, closer to one.
Yeah, like 011.
I mean, if people want to, well, yeah, I think it's like. I mean, people can do like a lot of the base stuff in this game is already in. Like, if you want to play all the game modes, like most of that stuff is playable. It kind of, I'm not sure what specific content you're going for. Like, if you want to do like you're trying to road to whatever rank XP or something.
Yeah,
wait for a bit for that. Don't do that until after 1.0. But
I mean, I've seen some TF2 videos that mentioned us, so like, you know, there's kind of already on YouTube.
This one's too hard. I'm not a tier 4 conquer yet.
Straight into a tier 4. Is this tier 4 or tier 5?
Yeah, it's tier 4.
Okay.
I thought I was ready. I guess I'm still tier 3. I mean, I kind of understand what I need to do. It's just I'm terrible at executing on it. So, but yeah, I'd say YouTube content. I mean, literally whenever, as long as you're clear about like, hey, this is like still in development and stuff. But I would say like when we would start to like do marketing push or like be happy with like, yeah, our own videos or like anyone making a ton of videos would probably be closer to 1.0, 011, 012 maybe by the earliest, because at that point we have a lot of our core systems that could be, you know, talked about and stuff like that. All right, too hard. Do an easier conch map. Took me 50 minutes.
Conch speed.
We turn off SV cheese, but like, what? Hold on, it took me 52 minutes to beat Drive.
It's a very long map, to be fair.
Okay, that's fair.
It's a lot of levels.
40 zones, yeah.
Which game mode is most fun to learn? Kinda missed that one. If you asking like personal stuff, for me, the learning Rocky Jump was kind of fun just because I played competitive TF2 back in the days and I was a roamer soldier, so you know, learning how I can use more of the rocky jumping techniques in the match was actually kind of cool.
a shame about TF2 though. It's,
aren't Valve working on stuff apparently, or
yes,
something?
yeah, they are.
Good job,
Yeah,
Valve. Well,
getting
finally,
there.
I don't know if you get to say good job given how long it took, but
It's just weird. It's a weird
Did we
situation.
answer the question in Discord that we have in the team channel about anti-cheat?
Oh yeah.
Which one? Sorry.
It's in voice team.
Yeah, there was a question about voice anti-cheat, sorry.
Any kind of anti-cheat mechanisms implemented? Not yet. O12 is going to be focusing on that.
like AC, a lot of the base tech we're kind of working on with replays and stuff, and giving quite a lot of thought to stuff. And in fact, we even have some fun little prototype things. But
yeah, we've thought about it a lot, and we're planning for it. We're planning on making systems that will be workable with anti-cheat. Is kind of the way we're going about it.
I'd say
we haven't implemented yet, but we are designing for anti-cheat in the future.
Most of our like future web work and stuff, a lot of the WebSocket stuff and all that is going to be partly with anti-cheat in mind, partly because it works well with other systems.
Yeah.
And then same with like save states and replays. Like they have some of their own purposes besides AC, but also are partly for AC. And I think we've done a pretty good job with kind of targeting specific stuff.
Oh shit. But yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, we have a lot planned, but yeah, we have yet to implement it for O12.
Yeah, I don't. Well, what? I don't know. I don't know what the fucking milestones are anymore. I don't care. They're all
O13 is
fucking,
no longer a thing. That's all.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know how much O11 is even gonna make sense. Of like a lot of stuff that's kind of like half finished now that will get finished at that one, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. But some of the stuff that we've not spoken about those milestones too much is the FAQ channel removed. Yeah, we just got tired of people. They should just have read it already, so we got rid of it. Well, yeah, you only get one chance to read it, and then
does it not show up? Is it missing?
Yeah, is there actually a problem with it?
I don't see it, actually, from my understand.
I can see it up at the top.
Where is it? What one is it in?
It's under server.
Server.
It's under community.
Yeah, I don't see it.
That's weird.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I think it's some stupid Discord thing where they are.
Oh no, I see it. FAQ channel. Never mind.
Browse channels. If you go to browse channels.
Yeah, did they change?
I actually don't see it even in browse channels.
Fuck.
Discord, you're the best. You're great.
Love you.
Yeah, they want to get rid of FAQs and then replace it with fucking, I don't know, something Nitro requiring, or who fucking cares?
Is it in the server guide at least? Because it should be there.
No.
Weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they have an outage or something? Why would only FAQ be gone?
I love how bad Discord is for how much money they have and how much time they spend on dog shit features. I love how bad the moderation system is and how much effort they put into like doing all these fancy things that no one asked for and don't even give us a way to just add fucking notes to a user's profile that all other mods can see. Why is that so hard, Discord? Obviously people want that and they just don't want to do it. No, you gotta use a spreadsheet. Fuck you. Sorry.
It's all good. Yeah.
Did you kind of like question from me? Did you guys buy anything on the Steam sale?
No, I haven't really been excited for Steam sales in a long time. I mainly just wishlist games and then see when they go on sale. And most of the times the sale is like $5 off. And it's like, okay, I have a big backlog. I don't need to play these right now. I don't know.
Too much effort. I only play Catboy Zoom. Shout out to Catboy Zoom.
Good game.
I need to earn my free copy of that by making the leaderboards.
Didn't Unreal already do it recently?
By the way, actually, we should bring this up because we probably won't announce this like in our Discord. But if people do want a source game, not a source game, it's on Unreal, but like source movement based, and it's genuinely really fun. Check out Catboy Zoom. It's made by two of
members
our
of our
team
team.
members.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do a little bit for it eventually. I've got set up with Unreal. Unreal's cool. But yeah, Catboy Zoom is really good. They've got a public demo out right now.
Shit.
It's really fun.
Catboy Zoom, right?
Catboy Zoom, yeah, all one word.
Because I didn't see that. Catboy.
Yeah, it's really great. It's like just a fun little first-person racing game.
Bray and
False.
Yeah.
Yeah.
False. Let's go.
Our 3D lead has pissed off, and he's doing Catboy Zoom instead. He's making Catboy games. No, Ethan's great, and yeah, we're kind of mostly done with our models right now. Anyway, I lose track. But also, we made him spend like a year making fucking defrag weapons, and you know, he deserves a break from that.
Yeah.
And he's still not done.
Yeah. Yeah. We need Ethan to start working on like his like actual personal products he's invested like loads of the last like 6 months of his life into and been working on like crazy to make like weapon models for like weapons that people are barely ever gonna use to come in. And every time, you know, he needs to spend like at least like 100 hours making each one. So, you know, it's just unreasonable that he works on like an actual like game.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got to make
BFG.
the fucking BFG or whatever. Yeah. We'll just use like the grenade model we currently have.
For the BFG.
Yeah. Or I'll model it. We'll use Chaz's snowman from the Christmas thing. We should actually redo that this year. Every year we like mean to do it. The last 2 years and we just don't do it.
For me, it'll be a
What if we
little
just put a
complicated. I won't be
picture-
home for that. I'll be back in
But-
my old streaming setup.
We never did the fucking thing with the background images.
Oh,
That's such a shame. I think we said that we were going to do this. We were
Yeah.
gonna before we've done a stream where Nick could just move from Michigan to LA, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I set my stream background to be Nick's old place. But I photoshopped him out, and then I think the stream after me, XB, and Panzer all did the same thing in Nick's new place. So all four of us were in the same place. But what we were gonna do is, when Nick moved recently, like a couple months back, have him send me an image of his new place. I Photoshop him out, or he just isn't in the image, and then I use that as my webcam background that month. Then the following month, I go back to using whatever stupid thing I like, the current one, butter overflow. What is a butter overflow? And then Nick just uses the new one, so it looks like Nick's using a fake background when it's actually his actual place. I thought that would be good, and we didn't do it. We didn't have time, so rip.
Yeah, it was kind of tight.
I still think we gotta make momentum cooking stream or something like.
Oh yeah, we've done a bit of that, right? Or
some
we've done a few meetings where I think I've done a cooking one. I think Alex did one at one point. Yeah.
Just wanna let you know, I don't see any questions, and we 3 hours
like 5
practically.
minutes. We got 4 minutes left.
All right.
So yeah, just to reiterate, we're opening the playlist after our 10. Stop yelling at us about playlist access now. Are we gonna keep doing drops until then, or should we just stop? Because I feel like we should just stop till then. But
I don't think it really matters either way.
It doesn't really.
People don't need that angy, yeah. And I guess we just keep ignoring people like, oh, when's the drop coming? I need.
O10 is going to take twice as long as whatever we estimate it'll take anyway.
Yeah. O10 is like we've been thinking it's been out for like the last 4 months or close to being out, and in a way it kind of has. Like a lot of the core stuff has been done, but so much of O10 is wiring stuff together at the end.
Yeah.
So, I got this.
We have a question. I have a question. Do you guys have any other favorite games?
trying to. Next question.
I mean, for me, I've been enjoying RoboQuest a lot. Like, I'm addicted to the RoboQuest. It's a really great game. If you like rogue light games, you should try it. I kinda wanna. I mean, I love Payday franchise. Payday 3 is kinda like got disappointed for me, but I'm probably gonna buy it anyway just because it has 50% off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kinda like the Call of Duty, but like the latest game, game, Modern Warfare 3 just kinda killed me. Like, it's so bad on the technical level.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I've been
that's
playing Cyberpunk lately and being very unimpressed by it. I don't know. Like once every 6 months or so, I play like a dumb AAA game, and that's it. And then I don't play any games for like the next 6 months.
the next question, if we're done with that, can you run Momentum Mod on the virtual machine of
Yeah, I answered in chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay, didn't see it.
I think we're good to. I think we've answered enough questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any anyway, so.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
Same.
But yeah, hopefully next month we should have some more fun stuff to show up. We'll probably have the zoning UI and probably zones kind of working. Hopefully,
Yes.
we're bound to make a few more little tweaks to zoning stuff, but it's in a pretty good spot. We'll probably have staging working and like map downloading and stuff. I don't know where we'll be at for map submissions in the map browser. I'd love to get that done. That's kind of one of the last things we've got left to do. Don't know if it'll be me doing it or Panzer doing it. There's also quite a bit of panel work that I guess I should be doing probably, but I need to do backend as well. But yeah, and also staging thing is live. If we want to play around, submit dumb maps, try to break stuff, go for it.
Yeah.
Front end had barely any tests. We've not had time, so users doing dumb stuff, trying to break stuff is actually really helpful.
Yeah, I can't wait to show off more as well, because it's just all gonna start clicking together, and then like one of these streams is O10, right? Or well, we won't sync O10's release with a stream of this, but you know what I mean, where it's like we are gonna be on O10 and it's clear. But
O10's also fun because it's kind of like a mini 1.0, like a lot of the same stuff that we'll be doing for 1.0, of like getting all these systems hooked up to one another.
Yeah.
And then kind of other milestones have been a bit more like abrupt when the release has been, or like there's been kind of final stuff to get. And a lot of O10 is kind of like trickle of like finishing different things, and I don't know what I'm saying.
I wanna add something before we end.
Yeah.
I hope you guys not gonna kill me. I don't know
No,
when it's gonna. I don't know when it's gonna be released, but there is Momentum Mod menu track. It's kinda ready.
Yeah, you
but
should post it so we can talk about it.
yeah.
Scrutinize.
So yeah. So be hyped, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we just do that for like the O10 trailer video as well. We could just use that.
Just the same, yeah.
Because that might kind of be quite. It's like, establishing the thing.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and call it here. It's been 3 hours 3 hours and 30 seconds. But
yeah, we can't go more than a minute over, so we've got to go.
Yeah, we gotta fucking end it
seconds.
right now.
Okay.
But,
oh wait, no, we got one more question. No.
Do we have anyone to raid at all? I don't have anyone. Nobody playing Momentum, unfortunate, or nobody streaming Momentum rather. I guess technically both, but yeah. Okay, well, I guess I could raid the Otters. It's always a good one.
Do it. Yeah. Whereas wait, is no one streaming? Let me just check my Twitch.
Yeah, you can check.
There's no. Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll do Otters. Bye.
All right. Oh, do you have it? Nice, you got it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you everyone for watching. Yeah, I hope to see you in the next one, and yeah, see you all. Thank you so much for watching.